Chris, you doing the intro?
I'm just waiting for the
Oh
beating and
yeah,
the
that
eating.
first part getting cut. We
Oh,
don't need to be talking about ass eating on the pod.
I mean that's very funny you say that considering what we're about to review, but sure.
A lot of ass. He's nom 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 nom.
Okay.
Jason, I got that in my notes too. That's crazy.
Oh man. So y'all good? Y'all ready? Y'all look
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy.
Chris.
Y'all look happy today, so I like that.
Shit. Considering this week, goddamn, I need to look happy. Yeah.
Oh man, one of those. Well, let's lift your spirits. Welcome back. Was it good though? Podcast episode 9. We are here to discuss, debate, disagree, and review some of your favorite movies and TV shows, old and new. Of course, I'm your host Chris. We are here with Jazz. Jazz, how you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good. How you feeling, Chris?
Feeling good. Can't complain at all. Jason, what's good? How you feeling?
Man, all things considered, man, I'm here. We here.
Well, you here. That's what's important. We need you for the podcast. So I'm glad you're here.
And
Uh,
oh, just forget about his family and all of that. Just
no, his family's good, but I'm just
long
saying.
as long as we got him for the pod.
Yeah, we'll make sure you get in the chat later. Right now, we recording, so I'm glad he's good. Nah, jokes aside, we are back, episode 9. As I said, we're here to finish our review of The Boys season 3. We're going to be doing episodes 5 through 8. Of course, last week we did episodes 1 through 4. If you haven't listened to that, please check it out. And of course, spoiler warning: if you haven't seen The Boys season 3, this is your warning. So if you want to be spoiled, be my guest. If you do not want to be spoiled, please turn off the podcast and go check out the show. But before you turn off the podcast, please be sure to rate, subscribe, follow, comment, share, like all that good stuff. Just show support. I want to give a shout out to the people who actually don't watch any of the shows that we reviewed. I've had someone who watches, or rather listens to the podcast. They haven't seen Thor, The Boys, nothing, and they tune in every week. So shout outs to you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the support.
That's love.
That's definitely love. Appreciate it.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. So, Jazz, I'm going to turn it over to you today.
Woo! We trading places this week. Chris,
Trading
that was a good
places.
intro. That was a good intro. That's
Appreciate
what's
it.
up.
I
What's
learned
up?
from the best. Learn from the best.
I mean, I'm gonna try to use your leading skills during episodes. Not last week though. We gonna forget that happened. But prior to that, try to use your skills of leading episodes. See how I do. And I know Jason's just ready to talk his madness. Oh, I just want to definitely give out a warning. This is not an episode you want to listen to around kids. So this is your warning right now. As you can listen to last week's, we was getting kind of wild, but these next episode, we got a good old Herogasm going on, so it's gonna be wild, but we're not gonna get there yet. Episode 5, gentlemen. We left off with the gang finding out that Butcher and Hughie have powers now. After the whole incident with Soldier Boy unleashing him, MM pretty much sees Butcher turn into the thing that he hates the most. So, Jason, what do you think about this opening scene of the gang actually interacting with what just happened when they were in Russia?
Um, it just goes to show, the boys. I mean, we just got them back, so now it's looking kind of sketchy for them.
Yeah.
Everybody is pretty much not testing, but they're looking at what each person is willing to do within those situations. So MM being the leader, somewhat of the group, more so the heart. Let me say the heart of the group, because he has the moral compass. He's kind of questioning everything. We know Kamiko. And Frenchie have already been feeling away because Butcher has how he's been kind of using them, and we've already talked about Huey and his ego, his pride has been in he's doing things to give himself that confidence boost. So
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then we also see the aftermath of what happened on that rooftop when Homelander took Starlight to see Alex's body. So, Chris, what did you think about this? Just like them blaming Alex's death on a drug overdose, which is kind of crazy because if we remember how his body looked, I don't know what kind of drugs. Like his leg was hanging off. Wasn't his head
His head was,
it exploded?
yeah.
So I'm just like, what kind of drugs do y'all think Alex was on for his body to look like this? And if you were Huey in that situation, like, how do you comfort your girlfriend at the time with the loss of her ex? Like,
well, first of all, with Huey, we're like, why? I'm asking her, why are you sad? Like, well, don't cry. Like, why are you sad? That's your
Here's
ex.
Chris. I better not see no tears run down that face.
Not one tear. You better smile when I see you. Nah, but nah, that was weird. But we've seen throughout the series how Ashley is the main one who's like covering up everything. So that's her job to do it. She's got her work cut out for her this season for sure. With some of
Man,
these cover ups, but I just think it's par for the course with Vaught and what they do, try to keep that good boy uh, profile for Homelander. But it's little cracks there. We get into that soon, but that little
Yeah,
good boy persona is got some cracks in it right now.
yeah.
that's for sure.
It's crazy because like she was the first one to see his body, and like she's crying to Huey, and then he's trying to console her, and also we Huey tells Starlight that he took some temp V.
Mm.
And so he was just like, I don't want any kind of lies. I just want to be completely transparent. And we see how she reacts. Would y'all have told y'all girl that you took some temp V, even though you pretty much knew how her reaction would be, but just to, make sure there's transparency, there's no lies, there's no secrets between y'all. Jason,
Yeah.
Jason's eyes like
Little trigger moment there. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
learning honesty is the best policy. So you gotta
that's
tell
good,
it.
Chris.
Yeah, especially when
Jason,
it's your health. I mean, we don't know what Temp V the side effects of it right now, so we got to be
exactly. Jason's like, I ain't telling her nothing.
Listen, man.
I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better with honesty and transparency. But yeah. See, this is a situation where I probably be in some deep doo doo because I kept it to myself.
Lord. See, Jason, I thought she was getting better. But
I
now,
I'm trying.
He's
I'm
slow and
trying.
steady.
It's a. Hey, look, where I was last week, I'm in a better space today.
okay.
That's all I
Uh,
can. That's progress.
all right.
I'm glad. I'm glad to see the growth. And so then we see Maeve come over Butcher's house. So I made a note for this scene because the entire time we know Butcher hates soups.
Hmm.
Maeve comes over, they drinking. Y'all know it wasn't no Netflix and chill. It was just confessions and cognac during that scene. So
She
like,
wrote that down like Tuesday. She
She
wrote
nah,
that
did.
already. I
no.
like that.
But you know what's crazy? I just came up with that. That is
That's fire.
literally like not even in my
Okay.
notes. But
Bars.
thank you. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate
You
that.
see what happened there? You see that, Jason?
He did it real slow too. I was like, he about to say something crazy, and I was like, oh, appreciation. Okay. Loving the energy. But did y'all have on y'all TheBoys season 3 bingo card that Butcher and Maeve was gonna get down in the DMs
I
physically?
yeah, no, I didn't.
Nah, I never. There was no way I would have put him with the soup. Period.
Right.
Especially in that manner.
Yeah. I mean, it
I
looked
mean,
intense. She was throwing around a little bit. He was also trying to throw her around.
Homelander says she can bend a pipe and not with her hands. So I mean,
hey
you got to
man.
be a hell of a man to handle that.
Was Butcher around when he said that? Because I'm curious.
It
Okay,
was just, it
yeah, I
was
Yeah, I
didn't.
just,
don't
it
think
was
so.
just, it was just Huey. He told
Okay.
Huey that because he was trying to see how Starlight vagina go.
Wait, I just realized I just realized Butcher and Homelander are Eskimo brothers now. Is that like that's
They
insane?
are.
That's insane.
But
I
hold on,
just
Chris.
realized that.
They've been Eskimo brothers since season 1.
Oh yeah, so it's like now they
That's
even
true.
closer brothers.
I'm
Yeah.
I much rather be Eskimo brothers with Homelander than the Deep. I'm just saying.
Well, we see what he fucking on. So if y'all was Eskimo brothers, I'd be like, Jason, stay out the ocean, my good brother. Stay away from seafood. But we got Frenchie and we got Komiko in the hospital because from that altercation that they had with Soldier Boy, Komiko is not healing normal. So we come to find out during this scene, she no longer has her powers. Now, when I saw this, I was just like, wait a minute, hold up. They done took good sis powers. Like, nah, y'all gonna try to kill her off? And then we come to find out, obviously, she lost her powers due to that blast from Soldier Boy. Um, she's excited. me as a viewer, I'm upset. I'm like, no, I need you to have your powers. I need you to be out here killing people like crazy. And so they're celebrating in the hospital. Like, what did y'all think about this scene? It was cute. It was all kind of wholesome or all that shit.
Talking
Like,
about
what did y'all think?
the singing and
So
dancing
the
scene.
singing
Oh
dance
my
thing.
god, I hated that scene.
Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page. I couldn't stand that scene. I hated it.
Y'all didn't like that.
No.
I like the theme of her because we know Kamiko she's unable to talk, so her being able to express her feelings through music again, I'm going to relate. So it's just a dope thing for her to be able to be able to try to relate, in the music. Although it was all just in her head, but it was a dope moment.
I
Yeah.
was sitting here. I'm like, why is this turning into a musical? Like,
Yeah, I thought it was corny.
It's,
When I
it's
saw, I think I saw the tweet. I don't know if Jason got tagged in it, but I saw the tweet and it was like they singing and dancing or something before I watched the episode.
yeah, I
And I
saw
was
that
just
too.
like, yeah. And then I saw it happen. I'm just like, nah, this ain't that ain't it. But shout outs to her.
they go with this season. They definitely opened up their creative book as far as what they were
Yeah,
going to show you, what they were going to give you, and how they were going to deliver it. So I wasn't, I wouldn't have expected seeing Frenchie and them doing a musical number with Kamiko. So yeah, it was different.
yeah, it definitely was. And then while in the hospital, Kamiko, before she woke up and realized her powers was gone, and correct, Jason, I know you will correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we see little Nina coming to the hospital and
Yes, so little
talking
Nina,
to?
yeah, she pulled up on Frenchie prior to Kamiko waking up and just telling them, y'all did a little bit too much murdering. Y'all killed a lot of my contacts. So you have another job you need to do for me, which kind of puts him in a predicament with little Nina because of again another one of butchered jobs.
Haha. Yeah.
Okay, that was a good little ah. But Nina wants him to kill
A kid.
a kid, and Frenchie's like, I'm not doing that no more. That's not the life I'm living anymore. And so Lena, little Nina's like, she gave him what, to the end of the day or like 24 hours,
Yeah,
Yeah,
something like that.
like 24 hours to make sure the job was done,
right?
completed.
Frenchie didn't rush out the hospital. He was just like, all right, let me wait till Kamiko wake up so we can have our dance number real quick. But we see the community center scene.
Tuh.
Chris,
Right.
I know how much you love A Train, so I'm gonna hand this off to you. Like the community center scene with A Train and Blue Hawk.
Yeah, the racist suit. First of all, okay, so before we go to that, there was the there was the meeting with A Train and Blue Hawk and Ashley, and they had their
Oh
little
yeah,
conversation. And I think Blue Hawk said something dumb. He was like, "Isn't it racist to call me racist or something stupid like
yeah.
that?" And I was
You
just like,
know,
"Yeah, I was,
white
yeah,
people they gonna flip it. They gonna
yeah."
flip it.
I don't like to give white people too much credit, but I give this actor credit because he played like a racist like jerk really well. Like
He's not.
he hit
He's
like
not white.
every
The
wait.
actor's not white. The
Oh,
Blue Hawk.
did you know that, Jason?
Well,
Okay,
no,
I
the
was just
thing
making
is,
sure I wasn't.
no, no,
Okay,
no,
just making sure I wasn't by
Wait,
myself.
what movie you know him from, Jazz? Or is
no.
this
He
your
was
Link of Thrones?
first off.
Look at
It
those
was
in the first.
we're not there yet. Jason's
I,
being
I'm saying, she seemed to know a little bit more about the
no,
characters.
Jason's being a dick. But nah, like he used to. It was a show that I used to watch called Revenge, and he was one of the stars in it. That's how I. So yeah.
Oh, well, he's just racist. Sorry. Uh, sorry. But yeah, that whole scene was funny with Ashley. And then of course the community center scene where he's up there doing a terrible job at apologizing. And then, the people there are not having it. They're like, I don't want to hear this. I think they said Black Lives Matter. He came back with like Soup Lives Matter and like all
Soup
lives
lives
matter.
matter.
Yeah, I'm like,
Soup
oh.
lives matter.
Yeah, I'm just like, nah, this is OG. I mean, but that's realistic. That's what the show's about. If heroes were, real, this would definitely happen for
Man,
sure.
that was
Yeah,
he portrayed that scene very well. It pissed
yeah.
me it pissed me off.
If it's yeah, and then he started attacking the civilians. Jazz is laughing. I just want to make a note that Jazz is
Wait,
laughing at
we're
black
all
people
laughing.
Oh man, you laugh first.
Jason is trying to cover his laugh. Like,
Nah, that's OD. Nah, he just starts attacking everybody, and then in the aftermath, he ends up hurting A Train's brother. I believe he got paralyzed actually.
He did.
So A Train was just that was like a wake up call for him. I don't know if this was supposed to be like the beginning of his redemption story. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I've seen the rest of it.
I'm the same way. I'm not
Yeah,
either.
yeah. I've seen the whole series so far. So
Again, there's no, even if he was to kill Blue Hawk, there's no redeeming for A Train. He would only thing he could do at this point is run through Homelander some kind of way. That's it at this point for me.
do
Yeah,
you think he
so
can? Nah, he can't do nothing with
I don't
Homelander.
think
You don't
so.
think you don't think he put no Flash? You think
Nah.
Flash?
That was my mindset, Flash and Superman, but in this universe, nah, I don't think so.
Jason's like, not in this boys universe. They don't think the
Yeah,
way
nah. Flash could probably do something to Superman, but nah.
yeah. Either way, A Train too much of a bitch to stand up to Homelander. So that's his title. Like we said in the last episode, like A Train, no way he can be redemption from that. So we got Homelander and Maeve. Ha. So we already know that that Maeve, she linked up with Butcher. She must didn't take off or wash her suit or anything like that because she bumps into Homelander and he's just like, I smell Butcher all over you. Because
Yeah.
Homelander and Maeve used to be a thing, a ting,
Yeah, I
I
heard
guess.
that.
But and Maeve just giving him bars and just telling him like, I never loved you, even Homelander thought they had a real relationship. She's just going in on him, expressing like her hatred for him.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I always pitied you. And just Homelander's reaction anytime somebody says anything crazy to him, I always look at his face and I'm like, oh, he about to kill you right here. Like he
Yeah.
kills people in any kind of space. And I was just like, but maybe they won't kill Maeve off. And I'm just like, this bitch talking a lot of shit right now. And then Maeve tries to leave. She turns around and she gets like a bag over her head.
Yeah.
We can already assume who put the bag over Maeve's head. Black Noir, because that's all the fuck he does. This guy, yes, that's all he does, putting bags over eyes. But
It was him.
but
I
we
feel real
learn more.
I feel real dumb right now because I definitely thought it was Homelander. But
No, it was Black Noir.
oh,
I mean,
okay.
they show him. They
Oh,
show
it
him.
was real quick though. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
it
real
was.
quick. So I wonder, you think
What
Homelander smelled that cat?
you mean, like every day or?
I mean, yeah, probably every day. Like he
Oh,
could just
absolutely.
tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm sure he got the scent down pat at this point.
He do,
Yeah.
and he probably be like sniffing it in the air while he drinking cow milk.
Yo, that's a sick dude, man. That's
The way
yeah.
Homelander loves cow milk, like I be like,
I think it's
and
just milk. It's just
Yeah,
milk
it's
though,
milk.
cause
Yeah.
he was drinking breast milk too
he
in the
was,
first in like season one. He was drinking.
yeah,
It's just milk. I don't know what it is. Maybe because
which
he was a test tube.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him and milk.
but then we have let me see what I got in my notes. The Countess.
Yeah.
So Butcher and wait, before I get to the Countess,
Yeah.
Butcher, Hughie, and Soldier Boy team up. Is this when they team up to where they're just like, we're gonna go get the Countess? Oh no, they actually find Countess before Soldier Boy comes.
Before Soldier
Mhm.
Boy,
Because
but
oh, go ahead, Jason.
but one thing you didn't, I don't know if you mentioned, like when Soldier Boy actually made it to America. Well, he made it back to New York. Um,
Yeah.
he his body begins to explode, which I know Chris last week he kind of compared him to Captain America, but this is, I feel like, the kind of like a mixture between him and Winter Soldier. He's walking through the streets of New York and he hears a Russian song, and he has, so it kind of like it triggers him and it makes him explode and blows up an
Mhm.
actual town. And, MM separated from the boys, but like Huey and Butcher, they figure out or know what's going on, so they go to the actual scene and, like, you still think this is the Russian people's problem because he's here, causing problems, and then this is how they go ahead and concoct a plan to go to the Countess. But I can let you continue that piece.
Oh nah, I want one of y'all to go in depth on this scene with the
Uh,
Countess and Seth Rogen.
oh man,
Gotcha.
I was about to go back to the Soldier Boy scene when he was walking through the city and he seen
Oh,
like everything that was just like what is it like he saw
oh
the
yeah,
good
go ahead,
couple.
Chris.
Oh yeah, I take the Countess scene after you. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I just thought it was funny. That's definitely realistic because Cap his scene coming back and he's looking out. You ain't gonna tell me he ain't had no racist thoughts when Cap. Like, come on, Cap was racist. He just did a good job covering it up. Yeah, Soldier
He
Boy,
went
he was
he went back in time to the racist time to be where his lover was.
yeah. He was lucky.
But
Cap was the one that'd be in your face, be like, I would have voted for Obama a third term, but like whole time that's the kind of dude Cap was. Soldier Boy straight up tell you your face, like so. Yeah, I just thought that was a funny scene. But
Yeah,
Andrea from Walking Dead.
yeah. Butcher, MM, and Huey they can make up a plan. They come to a conversation about who's going to take the V. Again, so this is where MM he said got to have a moral compass, so he's not going to take it. Huey and Butcher decide to take it, and they head out to Countess' house. Countess, I'm assuming she's on some kind of OnlyFans back page type of page, getting nasty with one of the producers, Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is on the screen paying $20 a minute
Yo.
to watch this
bang,
old cooter get to it.
bang.
And he tells her, did you get those get those bees I asked you about? Go ahead and pop those in there. I'm like, man, hold up, man.
She was taking her time too, and he's just like, "Can we speed this up because the clock is ticking?"
Yeah, $20 a minute. I would have been going moving in slow motion out here. Yeah.
Man, she went. Yeah, she was taking her time. I don't know where his entertainment comes to that, but people pay for their kinks. Mid of the stream, she gets tackled and hung up. Tied up by Butcher, and I'm like, he's still going to the snow on the screen, kind of making me think about back in the day with the scramble box. You trying to watch the porn, you really didn't have the channel, but you can kind of make out the naked people. Y'all never did that.
Can't relate.
Yeah. That's,
Okay.
That's a new level.
There was some '90s stuff. You just, I'm just like, I can see a little bit of nipple.
Wait, how old were you looking at this?
So
He said 90s. I'm thinking, wait, were you 10 yet? Like, what's going on?
I feel
wasn't.
like Jason was in the single digits. Like,
Yeah, Jason.
I was. So y'all, you see, I never ran across granddad, uncle, books, anything like that. Like,
Not that young.
no.
yeah. He used to goes down. But
Arkansas,
anywho,
wild.
I was in
wild.
I was in Memphis. Relax, relax.
All of it.
So they get her tied up and they make up a plan. They're gonna try to get with Soldier Boy. They want to team up with Soldier Boy. In the midst of waiting for Soldier Boy, Starlight pops up. MM hits up Starlight to let her know what was going on, and they run off, and they begin to talk about what the situation was. But we kind of see where Butcher is still, he's just super willing to do whatever it takes to win or to meet his goals. So he poisons MM. He
just knocks
him.
him out. Yeah.
He roofies him. He roofies MM. As Soldier Boy begins to walk up, he kind of sees him and he like, Butcher, what the fuck did you do to me? And then he run into the situation and he propositions Soldier Boy to help him kill Homelander, and he would help him to find his entire team and do whatever he needs to do with them. And this is when Countess and Soldier Boy they have a conversation, and he was like, I wanted you to have my babies, to not to come back and look for me, which it kind of goes into Soldier Boy. It's like because we don't really know Soldier Boy, so now we kind of see something that he was looking for. It was he was looking for that love, but we also know he was a bit of a dickhead as well.
Crazy. He was insane. What are you talking about? A dickhead just seems like lower level. Like, oh, it's not that bad. Like, Nah, this motherfucker was insane.
Yeah,
He
he's
was a bit. I
definitely
mean,
insane.
but you know, we really didn't know too much at that point. But he was definitely a douche. He was definitely a douche. And his girl tells him, man, I hated you. We all did. And then he does his explode his move, his power move. He does blows her up. And then we run into Hughie's situation with Starlight. She asks, either you need to come with me or you go with them, but you need to pick what you're gonna do. And he runs off with Butcher over Starlight. So
Yeah.
I think twice in this episode we see where Homelander told by Maeve, like, I never loved you, I
Hmm.
pitied you, and then we see Soldier Boy being told by the Countess, like, I never loved you.
Yeah.
So it's like getting a dude that's a suit don't seem like it's that lit, because these motherfuckers can't keep love at all. Like, they going through the same type of struggles that us regular folks going through. Y'all did,
Well,
yeah, y'all
nah,
I
didn't
don't.
get that.
Soldier Boy and Homeland ain't your regular soups. These some.
Well, I mean, yeah, they motherfuckers crazy,
I,
but
but I don't. I mean, but is it though? Because I mean, now Homelander, he had Butcher's girl, and Butcher girl was kind of ducked off with him.
so ah, yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know how much of that was just because she wanted to, or just like fear.
I feel like fear. That's what I got out
That was
from it.
definitely fear. She
He
got
But
a
could just,
kid. Like, yo, I gotta protect my kid. You know, mothers they gonna do what they gotta do to protect the
but he could
kids.
just,
So
but he could just pull up whenever he wanted to.
yeah, he's Homelander. what she gonna? What she
you
gonna
gonna
lock the
say,
door?
don't come over?
yeah, lock the door. Good luck.
I'm
I
not
mean,
home.
Ryan. I mean, Ryan's being hid at this point.
That bum ass kid. All right. So back to this scene. I think this is probably the first. This actually, this entire season, Starlight always triggers her powers and don't do shit
yeah.
every single time. And this is one of those scenes. And I will be sure to make a comment at every scene where she turns on her little glow eyes and somebody's like, turn that shit off. And she turns them off. I'm like, Starlight, like, you do something, sis. Do something.
Like
But
she pulled the gun out and just keep the safety on. That's what she doing.
yes, and there's no bullets at all. And ain't no clip in the gun. So you just like, what you about to do?
Just know I got it.
Yo. But is there any other areas in this episode y'all want to discuss? Because I'm excited for episode 7.
Oh, we know. Don't want you to get into it, buddy.
Don't do that, Jason. Don't do that. All right, so episode 6.
Look how excited she said episode.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do
My
that.
bad.
Relax.
That's
My
the
bad.
only episode title she know.
I told you that like 2 minutes before we started recording.
I don't care.
Like this pod space is not a safe space at all whatsoever. Even when the pod is not recording, like
9 weeks. Took her 9 weeks to figure it out.
Anyway, Christopher. So
Ooh.
we open up with this scene. We have the Deep, Ashley, and Homelander looking at security footage and seeing that Soldier Boy is alive. And we see the reaction from Homelander. He's just like, wait, what? And then Ashley says, maybe it's cosplay. And I'm like, nah, sis, that's his real face. Like, that's the real Homelander. And I believe Black Noir is there as well, not saying nothing, in the dark, standing off like a weirdo. And so Homelander is going through something during this exchange because he, of course, is a face of Vought now, and he got Stan Edgar out of here. Jason, what were your thoughts during this scene and what Homelander was going through in his head? Because I think this particular clip showed us the wide range of acting that this actor can produce. Like, he did an amazing job in this episode. So I want to get your thoughts.
I'm gonna be real. The entire season, it's like it's easy to hate Homelander, but the guy playing the actor he's a hell of an actor. Like, he showed so many different emotions. You see the height of Homelander. You see this season we're seeing the lows of Homelander. We've seen a disassociative personality in an episode where he's kind of battling within himself as to who he needs to be or what he needs to show. And so at this point, we finally get into the fear of Homelander, because at this point he know, shit, I'm mimicked off of this guy. Like, this is what I was created because of Where I come from, this person, this is my idol, this is my hero. But we also know Homelander is super narcissistic, so in his situation, it's everything is about him.
Right.
In every situation, like, this is what it's coming from. This situation is coming because who I am and what I've done, and he doesn't know how or if he can be able to beat this person because allegedly he's as strong as Homelander is. So yeah, he's battling. He's definitely dealing with a lot of demons within that situation, as well as the vault is going down in numbers every day. Every day is dropping.
Yeah. And so we see Black Noir make his make his exit because Homelander is, I guess, talking to Black Noir like he's your team. He was your team captain, like all of this stuff, and Noir's just standing there. Now I don't know what Homelander heard. I didn't hear shit. But then again, Black Noir don't ever say anything, and we see him going into the elevator. And then once he gets into the elevator, he removes the tracking in his arm. Like he pulls out one of his knives and just slits his arm open. Like
Like
I
what is
gotta.
his like what is his power? Like is he like super resistant or something? Because he just does stuff and just be like,
I have no idea. I've never seen him actually do anything.
he beat Kamiko ass in the first or second season.
Yeah, and he
So I
had a
guess he
fight.
could fight.
Oh, he had a fight with Maeve, and I think she exploited his weakness to peanuts or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. So, wait, why is
So
that
he don't
funny?
like that.
I mean, never mind. So I think his power is like regenerative ability,
Right.
in a sense, because he can take a beating, and well, we'll see later on in the episode, different things that happen. But I believe that's it, or at least like he doesn't really take damage or feel it. Maybe regenerative ability.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. So after the incident at the community center, A Train goes to Ashley. He's upset because he finds out that his brother is now paralyzed from the waist down after Black Hawk's complete meltdown, beating up black folks in a community center that were unarmed. So A Train is just like, we need to do something about this guy. Like, Ashley, what's going on? And then I believe this is the first episode where we see Ashley just completely snap on one of the suits
Yeah.
because we see her character development
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
throughout episodes. And so in this particular part, she's just like, A Train, I remember all the deaths that you committed, the three that we covered up. She was like, I had to go through all this many hours.
100.
Was it 100?
Yeah, it was
100 hours
100. Yeah.
100 hours in crisis training.
Right, like just for A Train. So she just like, basically get the fuck out of my office because you screwed up so many times,
Yeah.
but you want everyone to bend over backwards to help you. And just like A Train, he walks out because we already know A Train's a bitch. So, but Ashley's just like, get the fuck out of here. So it's good to see her stand up to them. Well, I like seeing Ashley talk shit to the Deep and A Train because I don't like either one of them.
Yeah, she know who she can talk to.
She can hit
What?
that off with.
Yeah, Homelander, she be chilling. I think it was episode the previous episode 5 or 6, I forget. But they had the meeting, and she was talking about like someone was dying of cancer or something. And Homelander
Yeah,
was
she
just
got.
like, yeah, Homelander was like, all right, enough of that sad stuff. She was just sitting there like a sad. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
they made her the CEO after Stan
right,
left. They
Yeah.
they they promoted her to the CEO position, so now she's in power. But Homeland is still the face of the company.
right. She's stressing, boy.
Yeah. Homelander in charge of everything. It's just Ashley's the one that's got to clean up all the mess when stuff gets spilled, ran over, and all the madness.
Yeah.
So then we see Homelander walking down the hallway of and the Deep runs behind him, and he's just like, Homelander, I got something to tell you. So this is the scene where he tells Homelander that Black Noir left. And Homelander's like, no, he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't do that. And the Deep shows him like, we have his tracker. And then Homelander goes back into his head again, and he's just like, and the line that he said during that, he said he wouldn't leave me. It reminded me of the episodes earlier when Stormfront committed suicide on his birthday. He was just like, she wouldn't do that on my birthday. Like that's just his first thought of
It's that
they wouldn't do this
his
Yeah.
right
the
to
narcissism in it's gonna
it's
play out.
crazy. Like it's just in the forefront. Like not thinking, why would Noir leave? He's just like, he wouldn't leave me. Noir's like, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm out.
Soldier Boy is insane. He's like, no. So then I believe this is the scene where he's in the mirror talking to himself
Hmm.
and he's trying to collect his thoughts. Chris, what did you think about this scene?
Yeah, this is what Jason talked about earlier with Anthony Starr is his name. I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, but just showing his acting range. He's a great actor. He's such a good actor that I feel like in real life he got some Homelander characteristics. Like, cause he playing that character, he playing his character a little bit too well. So, but yeah, I think it was good. Like you said, that little that existential crisis. I'm having a hard time talking today, but I just thought that was a really well acted scene, and it just goes to show a lot more depth of his character and how much more unhinged he's becoming as the season progresses, which
We
is not good
definitely
news for everyone else.
right. We definitely see him have a breakdown. Every time like when he's having those episodes, I don't know why. I'm always looking at his lips and I'm just like, he doesn't have any. And I'm like, damn, that's gotta suck. But I mean, if he was really Homeland, I wouldn't say that to his face because
Take your head clean off your shoulders.
Listen, man.
he would definitely blow me up. But and then another scene that I have was the meltdown on the newscast where it
Hmm.
was Homelander, Starlight, and Victoria.
Victoria,
Yeah.
I thought this scene was dope, but
it
Jason,
was.
what you think? You smiling too hard right now.
With this one here, you have everybody has their own thought process with this within this. Homelander is kind of big boying his way in every scenario. So because he's the strongest, he feel like whatever he says, however he wants to go about it, needs to be the way. And one of the it kind of reminded me of a Donald Trump type situation. The lady
Hmm.
asked
Absolutely.
he kind of asked him about the deaths. Victoria tries to take it. And he was like, wait, no, no, no. It's safe outside. Go out. It's period. You should be okay.
Yep.
And then he walks off. He said, no, I got time for this. He takes everything off. He walks off the set, and Ash like, mother, I'm gonna have your head. Per usual, you know how
Yeah.
Ashley is. She going off, and then we have the scene of Victoria and Starlight. They having their conversation. They duck off and they kind of talk about. Um, everybody has their own agenda that they're trying to push.
Right.
Ashley is trying to push the political agenda. Starlight is trying to stop Homelander, and Victoria tells her how she can actually give it to her, but she wants her to give her or help use her following to help her push the agenda. And Starlight was like, you know what, man, fuck y'all. Y'all got me. I'm not fit to keep being y'all pawn to
Yeah.
help y'all push whatever narrative. And Jazz, you want to
Yeah.
talk about she lights up again.
Yes. And it's basically once Starlight finds out that Victoria knows that her and Hughie know that she's a suit. Because she made the comment like, you don't think I'm gonna blow your head off, and so Starlight's like, oh, and
Yeah.
then she goes ahead and glows up her eyes, and I'm like, here she go again, not gonna do shit. And then Victoria's just like, yeah, no, turn it down, turn it down. And then here goes Starlight turning her damn eyes down,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, man, look, Starlight, like you's a whole ass bitch. But well, let me not call her that. She got to get her confidence up a little bit.
I
But
mean,
Victoria is telling her like we can work together.
Mm.
And then like Jason, like you said, Starlight's like, nah. She's like, I'm done playing this game. And I I like Victoria a little bit because Victoria be like low key fucking with people
yeah.
because when Starlight is saying all of this stuff about well, Victoria's standing there like with the straightest face. And she's like, oh yeah, so by the way, don't tell nobody we had this conversation.
Right.
And she leaves. And then you see a shot of Starlight and her nose is bleeding,
Yeah.
which is the first sign where you know Victoria about to blow your head off. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there like, ah, she just bitched you in your own trailer, Starlight. Like, it's crazy. But Victoria is definitely one you gotta watch because her hand is in so many different pots, and you don't
Hmm.
actually know what her motives are.
Yeah. Victoria's I like Victoria. I think this was a scene and she had a I believe it was last season, but this was a scene where she really was just very intimidating. Because she's just like,
Yeah,
I'm in control of this situation. Like, her power, in my opinion, is one of the more dangerous ones out of the soups that we've seen because it's just like pop in your head. We saw the scene last season, at the end of the last season. So it's just different things like that. She's one of my favorite characters for sure.
yeah, because she could pop your head like miles away from you. She doesn't
Yeah,
even have to be so close to you to do that, which makes her extremely dangerous.
yeah, she's dope.
Mm-hmm.
But now we go back to Frenchie and Komiko. They have been captured. Little Nina, she's just like got Frenchie ass naked, beat
Literally.
up, scratched up, and he's just arms behind his back, just helpless. And then we have Komiko and what was the other girl's name?
Cherie.
Cherie. They're both tied up and in chairs. And so you get a small but a dark backstory about all the things that Frenchie has gone through.
Hmm.
And I felt so bad for him because he's definitely one of those characters to where they seem very genuine and like sweet, really somewhat wholesome characters, even though he be on some kind of drugs a lot. But you know what? We don't judge.
It's
Frenchie's still
coping.
cool.
It's
Yeah, it's
coping.
definitely coping.
You
Yeah,
know
Yeah.
it's cope. You know it's cope. Well, this kind of explains it's
yeah.
the coping of the stuff he's had to go through and had to endure.
Right. So when y'all saw this scene with Nina going through all of the stuff that Frenchie has been through, did it catch y'all off guard of just like, damn, I didn't realize he would have gone through stuff like this? Or does it seem like not too much of a shock to y'all when y'all were like watching it?
Yeah, I wasn't too shocked. You could tell Frenchie has some baggage, some things that he's been dealing with. And then, like you said, the coping with the drugs and everything. That I'm sure that predated everything with the boys and everything as well. So
Right.
I wasn't too surprised. It was
Yeah,
sad, but because he's trying to reform himself, he doesn't want to, do that anymore. So it just sucks that he got sucked back into that lifestyle a little bit.
yeah. And I feel like him dealing with Butcher, I feel like he would have had to have some kind of dark history, dark past to be able to to run with them. Even though we know Frenchie is like super helpful. He knows a lot, super smart. He can put anything together to make typically the stuff that they need.
Yeah,
So yeah, but I figured it was something.
yeah,
Especially with how him and Kimiko, they just like super. They got super tight, just super quick.
yeah.
Yeah. They got a definitely real good connection. And so I thought Kamiko, because she's no longer a suit. So I was just like, please don't let her die. Like, I need her to get out of here. Like, I don't know how this scene was going to unravel. I didn't think she was going to die, but I'm like, who's going to come save y'all?
Yeah,
So I was just, but luckily, Kamiko was able to get out of her restraints and she just beat dude's ass. Nina got away, and then also the other girl got away too, right?
Yeah, Sharice, she got away as well.
Okay, so Frenchie and Kamiko dealing with that entire exchange. Is there anything y'all want to add before we go into what this episode is mainly about?
Jazz is
Uh,
excited.
No, I mean it's
so
just
well, it was yeah. So actually, yes, it's two things. So one, you do have the so with Kamiko, um, it just kind of goes into her personality because she felt as if like the bee was making her who she was, but in this scene. Early in the episode, she was eating a popsicle, and she kept
Hmm.
the popsicle stick. It was a joke on there. I
yeah.
forget. I forget
Yeah.
the joke. It kind of plays somebody a picture into being framed. That's what the actual. That's
What
what
do
the
you
end of
call
it.
a picture without a frame?
Yeah. Okay. See, I didn't catch the first part. That's why I was like, I don't remember that. But she used a popsicle stick to murk out two big ass dudes with no powers. It's just
Yeah.
Right.
she's just super badass. And the other part we go into is kind of like in the beginning is where we have the situation with Huey and Huey and Soldier Boy. Huey and Soldier Boy are tucked away. They're trying to figure out what their next plan is, and it's the TNT twins. The TNT twins in Vermont. Basically, the title of the actual episode is where they're heading. And Soldier Boy is he just talking about all the different things he had to do to keep himself down, and he, how Bill Cosby had some great drinks back in the day, and a man was a man, and another illusion because he talks about him wanting eventually wanting a kid. That was something that he always wanted. So just more foreshadowing for this, but all our gang and groups are all heading out to Vermont, and I'm gonna let Jazz
Oh
enjoy.
no. What now? How we gonna do this section? Oh, this is gonna be an open dialogue. Like
She said, "Oh no."
no, because like this I got
So
too many notes.
you gonna all take a turn?
I mean, yes, I think that's the best way to even explain this since it was so much happening in this end of the episode.
Did you do a slow motion watch?
No, I didn't do no slow motion watch.
That'd be a
Yeah,
sick slow motion.
That will be crazy slow motion. That makes me feel like that's what Jason did. But basically, basically,
I freeze frame.
Yo,
Jason's like, what they doing back there? But no, Chris, I'm gonna start with you. We can try to go from wholesome to not so wholesome, but Chris been kind of sketchy the past few episodes, so we're gonna see how this goes. Your first thought once you watch this section of the episode, the whole Herogasm, everything unfolding, like what was your first thoughts?
I was just like, these people are deranged. No, actually, one thing I thought was, I know it smelled crazy in here, honestly, but I think it was Starlight and MM. As soon as they opened the door, and like that little,
Love sausage.
that's what his name. Yeah, and I was just like, bro, like, is this really what's going on with this? But for me, well, I'm not gonna go there yet. So that was my initial thoughts. No, because
I
I
told you,
have
Jazz.
no,
I
no,
told
because
you, Jazz.
I have more of a, no, no, no. I have more of a, like,
Here
when I'm
we
talking
go.
about the episode, but we're on this right now, so we'll get this first.
All right, Jason, what were your first thoughts?
Going into the house at the TNT Twins, man. This was it was a wild party. I was thinking like, would I do this? You know. I don't know. I might pop up. I might pop out there. Once. A few times. I might pop out there to see what's going on.
He said once or a few times. Yeah.
Jason would be there every single year. Like it's like he talking about once in a while. He's like, I got it marked on my calendar, y'all. I will be there. That's Jason. Like he's going every single year. He get the email list like every year. That's what Jason's getting.
I'm not shame here, man. I would definitely be out there.
Nah, but I thought this was so crazy to me because when you think of like superheroes, I personally don't think of superheroes out here fucking and doing this kind of stuff. So to see this episode, I was just like, wow. And then they also hyped it up a
Yeah.
few days before the episode dropped. They were just
Yeah.
like, this is one of the wildest episodes on TV with heroes that you will ever see. So
Yeah.
I was just like, let me see what these motherfuckers talking about. And they were right. They were right.
You're
So
right. It
when
make
I was the opening scene when you have Hughie and Starlight, she was just like, "Oh, he likes to eat up for Johnny. He just yum yum
yeah,
yum
yeah,
yum."
yeah,
I was just like, Starlight, like sis, what are you doing? And then the big old sausage rolling around. I was just like, oh, okay, all right. It's opening doors, like the power of the. Oh, my bad.
oh,
Um,
you're just very curious.
nah, I mean,
Intriguing?
sure,
Did it
sure.
intrigue you? Oh,
I was like, oh shit, okay. It didn't disgust me like He was trying to shoot dude. I'm like, whoa, whoa. He gotta shoot nobody.
Rightfully
yeah,
so.
a
I
natural
mean,
reaction
So.
from a straight
I
man.
mean, but you coming in his crib, you coming into his space.
It's
So
not. That's not his home, but he is coming into his space. Like,
exactly. And what was happening there? His dick was probably around so many other people's faces at that party. I'm just saying. Look,
Jazz been looking forward to this all week.
now like Jason, facts and possibilities. That's all I'm saying. Nah, but Chris, what were you gonna say about this episode?
No, I think it did a good job of not just focusing on this particular event that was going on, but it played into the story really well. Because I read the comics after I saw the name of the episode and everything that was going on. I read up on the comics and it was way like just out there. The comics itself is just way crazier than the show. So I think they did a good job of incorporating the main story into this event as well.
Right.
Um,
If you
Yeah.
were a suit, would you have gone?
No, probably not.
Oh, that's
Well,
not your vibe.
no, no, probably, probably wouldn't. No, I'm good.
But
Jason is definitely going.
Jason's definitely going.
Jazz.
I'm nah, I'm not gonna roll up over there. I'm good. But as we see, as we see Starlight walking through, we see a familiar face, a familiar body pop up, termite, all covered in cum and wet, all of that stuff, and he bumps into and has OCD, so he's just like, "What is this shit on my jacket?" And you got to be careful when you walk and open up doors in places like this because something could squirt at you. And we found that out when opened up the door, and he just got covered. Jason, do you want to expound on this scene?
You don't know, you threw it to me. I can't. I don't even produce like this. I, well, technically, well, we're not going there. So,
Yo.
so like I said, he gets, he gets fluids on his jacket from. We know termite likes to get small and go inside of bodies. I'm not sure if I think he was with a woman this time though. So he just, just a fluid young man, but that's fine. So goes into a room, and the guy said, he opens the door, and somebody shoots a load
It was
all over,
crazy.
Bro, that
all
was
over.
insane.
Yeah, I
His
would have
mouth
shot.
was open.
I would have started shooting the room up. Like that wouldn't have been. I would have died that day because I would have just started shooting at people. But he decides to just go take a shower, and Starlight begins to roam around the house herself, looking, looking for looking around trying to see if she can see, well, looking for what she needs to get people out because she knows Hughie and them are coming to this actual house, and it's gonna be a fuck fest. It's gonna be a lot
Already
of
that.
it's gonna be a disaster if he pops in. But he walks into your guy, the Deep. He's in the room by himself, having his booty cheeks all over the aquarium. He's romancing and profiling up in the room, and we get to the reveal. He getting head from an octopus, I think.
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
shit, that was wild.
Yeah, I
I speechless.
the disclaimer said no animals was hurt in the making of this film.
Would an octopus be considered like? Would they consider it an animal? Because since it's not a mammal, like, because it could have been a bunch of like different octopuses on set. Because the Deep fumbled. He got with a lot of them during this entire season.
Yeah, he's a sicko. This is
Yeah,
why we
he.
don't. This is why we don't like you. By the way, the Deep. This is why we don't like you.
Just in case if you're listening to the pod, we
Yeah.
don't like you.
What's his name? Chase Crawford or whatever. We don't like you. But nah, that was disturbing. Then of course she said Starlight walked in on him. She's just like, "What is going on? Like, what are you doing?" So
and
that
she
scene.
re- and she records it.
Yeah, she did.
She definitely recorded something, give it to Homelander, just as as her safety net.
Yeah.
And then she walks out. She as she's going through the actual house, Huey tells them let him go into the house first to check the actual scene. Now he teleports into the house and he's naked. He runs into his guy A Train. Um, you know, and now, like I said, his confidence is up. He got the V in his system. He got the power. He feel like he's on the same level. Teleporter versus a speedster. They really can't run no more.
Yeah.
He makes him apologize to him for season one. He runs through his girlfriend, so he makes him apologize. But the apology wasn't enough for Huey. Starlight pulls up before they try to pull Huey off of him, and he decks him. He hits A Train in the face, and A Train like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
Like, how did you hit me in the face? He said, I could do it again. I could do it again.
But when I seen that scene, I thought it was interesting to see how their powers work because we know with Butcher, he's very durable now. Like he's like sort of that Superman type. He can take punches and stuff. So when I
Right.
seen that, I guess like all of them can because A Train, he normally wouldn't be able to take a punch, or Huey rather wouldn't be able to punch A Train the way he did. So that was just interesting to see that. I don't know how his powers work outside of speed, but when I saw that, that made me think about that.
I guess they all get like that strong strength that might come with it, and then you get an additional power,
Yeah,
but
I can
then
see that.
you die after, between your third and fifth shot
At the 10
or
feet. Yeah.
I think it
injection.
was. Yeah, I think it was like I think. Well, I guess it was just like because he's super fast. He was able to punch him real quick, and it actually hurt him. Versus
Yeah.
what it made. What if it was just a typical person trying to hit him? How it would feel? And I mean, it's Huey. He got to be doing something if he was able to hit me. You know what I'm saying?
Scrawny guy. Yeah.
But this time, Jazz, your girl, she actually get him off. She get him off this time.
Who?
Starlight, she get her lights off.
Oh,
She quiet now.
no, I'm not. With her boyfriend, like, sis, what? Like after he took her out the house,
Yeah,
and
he
they're both
teleports
in the
her
street naked.
naked.
I'm gonna let one of y'all go through that whole exchange because I know we discussed Huey and his pride and how he just feels like the V keeps is I I can have the V to where I don't have to have Starlight help me to where
Yeah.
he can open up a jar. I'll let one of y'all deep dive that because I'm just Huey's
Just on it.
pride just irritated me this entire season.
Yeah, it's a man thing. He's pretty much he's dating a
It's a
suit.
what?
It's a man thing for him. Like he feels like he has to be, you know, uh, the guy like he's dating a suit. So he's just kind of like, what, Jason, you good?
You'll see it.
Oh, he's dating a soup, so he's just kind of like, she's got to do all of this stuff for me. And he finally has the courage and the ability to stand up for himself against this crazy, this crazy world that he's been thrown into. So that's pretty much where that comes from. And she's just like, no, you in too deep, pretty much like you over your head in this whole situation. And he ain't trying to hear it, especially from her after, he doesn't want her to keep saving him or, pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah, everything like that. So he's like,
Pride,
nah,
pride beating his ass.
yeah,
yeah.
pride.
It's definitely his pride because he keep on saying I want to save you, and she's like I may not need saving. He was like stop. Like why do you keep on trying to put yourself in this situation of being a hero?
Yeah.
Do you think it was her telling him to his face, butt ass naked, I don't need you to save me? That really irked him because he's sitting here like, damn, I can't even save my girl. To where maybe other words in his mind went floating to where it translated to maybe, I don't need you to save me, but I don't need you to do this for me. Your sex is trash. You can't do shit. Maybe he heard all of those things
Jazz, like
in the
whoa,
Yeah,
translation.
I don't
did
know
you
where that came from.
did you are you
No,
okay?
no, no. I'm good. I'm just saying maybe some
It seemed
like
like that you have you saved a man and told him his sex is trash. I'm trying to see what
wait,
I felt. I
you
felt. I
wait.
felt. I felt that
So
when you
you
said that.
Sound
so
like
Like
you
it came from a personal place.
it. Yeah, it felt like I'm like we need therapy,
wait
sis.
wait when you said Jazz, did you save a man? That's when you should have stopped.
Yeah. Oh,
Jason. I'm not no Captain Saber, nothing.
Hey
But no,
man.
I guess it's one of those things to where he feels like I can't even open a jar for myself. She has to help me. To where I can't be able to save her. She has to save me. I can't stand up to Homelander. She has to save me. To where all of those things are probably running through his mind with it starting off as simple as opening up a jar.
yeah.
So I was just using those other things as examples and joking. Like maybe he hears he all of that echoes in his mind when she's just like,
Yeah.
I don't need you to
All,
save me.
all jokes can change true shit. I don't know.
I'm telling
No,
you,
they
like,
don't. Not on the pod, nigga. Relax.
that's a lie. I ain't letting you get that lie off. Hell no. No,
They go,
no.
Chris. Everything said on the pod is real.
No, it was definitely an ego thing for him. And then,
Yeah,
like you said, sometimes your mind, start racing and you start thinking about other things you may feel inadequate in. So, you know,
Right.
Huey's,
That's all
yeah,
I was saying.
yeah.
See,
He's,
Chris, you get me. Here goes
no,
Jason,
yeah,
not being understanding. But anyway, now we get to before we get to the showdown, is there any areas in the Herogasm that we didn't get to cover yet outside of the dicks and the vibrators
um,
being passed
the only
around?
the only thing I want to go into, like I said, we going into the showdown. Uh, the lead up to it. I mean, of course, you have MM. We kind of this season we kind of get every all the characters are being fleshed out a lot more. We 3 seasons in. We love these people. We don't know shit about these people, honestly. So we kind of go into why MM the way he is. So it was revealed Soldier Boy killed his family by mistake, but he did kill his family. And this goes into where his OCD comes from.
Why is
Um,
Jess why is Jess laughing at MM's
No,
family?
it was when stop. It was when Jason said by mistake.
I mean, it was. It wasn't. I mean, because it's the thing of him being a superhero. It's just like just imagine you walking outside and a goddamn car
I
just
mean,
fall on top
the
of your body.
Avengers
Just
killed a lot of people. Look, so
but this
right.
show is actually
No,
revealing
exactly.
what it would actually look
That's why
like
I
when
love it
those
so much.
situations are.
Yeah.
So like I said, so he's in the home with his family. Soldier Boy stops a car thief and he just throws the car through his house, and it kills his family. But the family was only up because MM told them to get up to go see Soldier Boy outside. I don't know if they would have been alive if they would have stayed asleep, but in his mind, that's what makes him feel like that. So it plays into that situation. So before MM has his standoff with Soldier Boy, we run into the Wonder Twins. They trying to the sister is revealing the brother has a camera inside the toilet
Bro.
showing what the people are doing. They said that's the only rule: no cameras in the facility, especially with nobody knowing. And Soldier Boy pulls up, like, "What's up? What y'all got going on?"
And they try to do their whole little TNT routine, which fucking fails. And then Soldier Boy, it was another Russian song that came on, right?
Yep, the
Mhm.
love sausage. His Russian
Right.
his Russian music started playing.
Wait, what's the name of the song?
No, his name is Love Sausage.
Oh, I
Jess
was
Greer, like,
like,
what kind of song is
wait,
that?
it's a Russian song called Love Sausage?
Nah, his name
I
is
was,
Love Sausage is the one that was playing the music.
oh, right. So
Jazz
Soldier,
was Jazz was so
I,
perplexed. Is that on
I
Spotify?
was, I was hella, no, I was, relax, Chris.
My bad.
But then, like, so Soldier Boy, he has an episode, and so he blows up half the guest at the house.
Mm.
Um, and we see, and one of the individuals that Starlight was trying to recruit before Soldier Boy blew up the house was Blue Hawk. So we got Blue Hawk at Herogasm as well. So it seemed like all the soups that we've seen outside of Maeve are at Herogasm. So Jason, it might be lit. Well, they
So
don't
you
got
going?
blown up. Nah, I mean, it depends on what's going on in my life. If I'm like, whatever.
If
But
it was yesterday, would you go?
I knew that was coming.
the
That was just
dating
it.
pool real trash too. I might give me a bottle of tequila and be like, let's see how it go.
True. You might
I
pull
might
up.
roll. I might pull up. I'm gonna park away from the house just in case that shit blow up.
True.
But hopefully I'm not there because I don't want my car damaged or to die. But
True.
so
Somebody go hit it with a text. Pull up.
Chris, oh my God, I just got triggered. All right.
That's my
Chris,
job.
Chris, Chris, why don't you go over this scene after Soldier Boy blows up the house?
So before that, oh yeah, so Soldier Boy blows up the house and everyone's that was a horrible scene because everyone's innocent for the most part. Like he's trying to take out the twins, but everybody else is just like caught in the crossfire. They just, the annual hero gasm, they just trying to do their thing, and then next thing you know, they all burnt up. I think Love Sausage was his sausage was burnt.
It had to be. It
Yeah,
was
it
too big
was.
for it not to get burned up.
Yeah, throw it over his shoulder and running.
Yeah, that's got to be a bad feeling.
Is it?
Um, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying it had to be a bad feeling for that to. But yeah, Soldier Boy did his thing. We've seen this happen a couple of times now. I think this is probably the third time we've seen his power really go off like that, and just he has no control over it. Pretty much, he gets triggered very easily because of what he's endured when he was locked up. So we saw that happen, and then the A Train scene with Blue Hawk. That part happens, and again, I guess this is A Train's sort of redemption. They're trying to get him back in good graces with the viewers. But this scene, I gotta admit, this scene was very satisfying. I was happy to see this. Not only because he got Blue Hawk out of here, but the way he did it. He was just pretty much
Yeah.
fed up with everything. And he was pretty much saying, "Yo, you paralyzed my brother," and he really didn't care at all. So he just dragged him literally. Like just that was I mean, this show is known for like the graphic deaths and the graphic scenes and everything, and that was up there. But I didn't feel bad. I enjoyed it.
That was a fire. That was a fire death. Kind
Yeah.
of made
It
me think
was.
of. It made me think of Cabal in Mortal Kombat when
Yes.
he dragged the person on the ground. You see it was that was a
Chris don't
nice one.
Chris don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, what? You just said Mortal Kombat. What are you talking about?
And
He's trying
then
to get
when
me back. No.
and then we have the standoff with and Soldier Boy. MM kind of he kind of freezes because like he sees Soldier Boy, he throws the holothane bomb at him, and he's like, "What you doing with that?" And he picks it up and he just takes a puff, like he takes a pull off of it. And MM is just like I said, he just to the point of like this is where my PTSD is coming from. This is where my issues are stemming from. If this shit don't work, we finna fight. So he begins to come down there try to fight him, and Butcher walks in like not him, like that's not why we here. Like
Yeah.
that's not what we doing. He kind of he tries to take down Butcher, but he's unable to. And that's when Homelander pulls up and he terminates Termite on the porch before he goes into the house. He has his standoff with Soldier Boy.
I missed that. I didn't even see him kill Termite.
Yeah, Termite was like, "Help me, help me!" he just stumps on him.
I'm gonna have to go back and just watch that clip. Like
You you
Termite
gonna you
was.
gonna watch the whole episode? Don't lie to us. It's cool.
All right, so I'll just go back and watch the whole episode.
Soon as Starlight and MM pull up to the to the house, you like, this is it.
Fast forward through everything because that whole scene is at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
It
But
is. It is. So we get that. We finally get that standoff, that fight that we've been looking for, because nobody has ever been able to put a hand really on Homelander, and at this point, he gets kind of get the best of him with Soldier Boy. He gets hit, and he realizes this is the real thing. It's a
Yeah.
real person, but he gets the best of Soldier. I think he was getting the best of him within the fight, um, within it. But then you hear Butcher walk in. He's like, "This is scorched earth."
Yeah.
Butcher is like, and I think he shoots him with the laser, right? He shoots
yeah,
him. He shoots me like, "Well, oh, Jesus, what the fuck?" He said, he said, "No, this is cheating." Like, and then we have like the basically the Civil War. I feel like Civil War,
Yeah.
in Marvel between them and this fight between the actual people as they stand off in the room, and they finally get Homelander down, and Hughie pops in, still naked, try to hold him down. He's gonna try to use the power to dampen or kill Homelander, but he some kind of way breaks free and gets away.
Yeah, he wasn't having that. I think this scene was cool too because before Butcher came in, you had Homelander and Soldier Boy. They had a little bit of a dialogue, and they was pretty much talking about each other. And Homelander, well, first Soldier Boy said something to the effect of like, you were supposed to be the new me, but you have a cape and all this stuff. And Bars from Homelander, he's pretty much like, nah, I'm the upgrade. And I was just like, oh yeah, this is about to be a good fight. So that was a real dope scene for me too.
when y'all saw
Yeah.
this scene, where y'all just like about time we saw these two in the same room getting ready to fight?
Yeah, because you
Man,
knew it was all leading up to it eventually. So, and then I don't know how much of Soldier Boy's powers outside of like the beam, but like him, being able to fight and his strength and stuff. I don't know how much we've gotten of that since he's been introduced. So it was cool to see that. I mean, we saw, with the shield how heavy that is because we saw Huey try to pick it up and
Right.
he
Yeah.
just fling it around like it's nothing. But seeing him fight was dope.
yeah, nah, it was super dope. Watching that, seeing that scene, because it was like, I mean, the pay you were trying to see when the payoff was going to actually happen
Right.
Yeah,
within it, but it was like, are they going to wait to the end of the actual season? Could they drag it out that long?
Yeah.
So it was dope to see, and I stood up when that scene popped. I said, yes, it's fine. Like we finally fit to see these people duke it out. Somebody that can actually take the hits and also give them as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't know Soldier Boy was that strong. I didn't think he was gonna be quite like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it a little bit when Huey had the shield thing, but it was just still good to see the action. That was dope.
And then I love seeing the fact that Butcher is finally able to match up with Homelander, even though like not fully, but just to see it because we've seen like at this point 2.5 seasons of Butcher's hatred towards Homelander, but knowing Butcher can't really go toe to toe with him because he didn't have any kind of powers before now. So just seeing that matchup is just like, all right, Butcher finally can, you know, unleash his hatred, his anger that he has for Homelander in a fight. So I was satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I'll say towards the end of this episode, we got Soups dead, we got innocent bystanders dead, and then you have MM helping out people with providing medical attention. Then you also have Starlight as well. She finally was able to get her some clothes. And so Starlight gave MM her phone. And he's like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And Starlight's like, yeah, fuck everything. So I don't remember how many followers she has, but she has a lot. She goes on live, and you know how many she got, Jason? Is it in your notes? If it is, it's cool. It's no judgment.
I don't know. I know it's over 100 million. I know that for a
Yeah.
fact because 19 million tagged into the live when she was there.
Yeah.
That's dope that you know that.
I remember one time, I don't know if it was Victoria, someone mentioned like over 200 million, and then I think it
Right.
dropped eventually.
Yeah,
So she had
Victoria.
like one,
Yeah,
yeah, so she had like 190 or something like that.
Look at y'all.
yeah.
You know what? Y'all
Listen, man.
memory is working for this episode, but that shit will probably be gone as soon as we stop recording. But Nori, that's what's up. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. I had to show
But
up after last week. I was clowning me too hard. I had to, yeah.
whew, yeah. So she goes live and she tells everybody that Soldier Boy is still alive, Homelander is crazy, and the entire situation that happened at Herogasm. And it closes there. Herogasm is finished. That episode is done. Is there any areas in this episode that I did not cover? Let me ask before we go to the next one. Is there any points y'all wanted to make? Jason
Mm,
satisfied. Chris looks like he's looking at his non-notes because he doesn't take any.
I definitely got notes, by the way, for this episode. I came prepared. But no, I think we pretty much covered everything for this
Yeah, we
episode.
covered
This was
we covered
probably,
everything at six.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Now we are going to episode 7.
Mm.
Jason, you know the name of this episode?
Here
You
comes
know
the
I
candle
don't.
to light the bed.
Okay. See, we ready. We organized. We got this.
I just think it's
So
real funny that Jason writes down the episode names
me
just in
too.
case. Yeah, I wouldn't think to do that. That's dope though.
It's dope, and I will never do it. Jason's like, you want the episode names? No, I can just say, Jason, what's the episode name? I don't need to write it down because I know he got that shit.
What a
Shout out to him.
what
So
what a nerd.
super nerd, boo, nerd ass nigga.
Jason be telling the teacher, "Yo, we had homework, right?" Like, what's up? That's what Jason is right now. I see
Don't
it.
we have
That
a pop quiz today?
hold on, you gotta relax. Y'all got to relax. Y'all wilding right now.
But so we know that Maeve was, I guess you can say, kidnapped, even though they tried to spin that she was in rehab.
Yeah.
And so we have Homelander visiting Maeve. I thought this scene was kind of weird because Homelander said some wild shit during the scene.
Yeah.
But I just want to ask y'all, were there any takeaways that y'all got from this scene, their interaction between Maeve and Homelander?
Um,
So so before the episode comes on, you get like the trigger warning of what's going to happen within the episode. Each one of them, like the back part of it, they give you one. It was saying something about suicide. So my mind was going into the fact of, so like you said, he kind of tells her that I'm not saving you. I'm keeping you alive so I can procreate with you. So I thought maybe she was going to take her life, but that wasn't. That's not how the episode played out at all. And this outside of that, it was the thing of her saying this was like the third one of the third best days of her life, her seeing him in fear.
Hmm.
And he had on concealer because he had got beat up, and she had never seen it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think that conversation was interesting too because you could see, like he was shook. You could see the fear in what he was saying. So he had to still portray he's Homelander and like nothing phases him outside of mentally. But now he's sort of met his match a little bit physically as well, and she picked up on that. So I thought that was a really dope um, dialogue with that scene.
yeah, and especially being that only other soups that are around is the Deep and H Train. Homelander hates them, even though he doesn't come out and say it, but his actions show that he hates them. Like he doesn't have any type of conversation with them. So I thought it was interesting that he went to Maeve, and then he also told her he was just like, "I'm gonna harvest your eggs," and I'm sitting here like, this motherfucker is crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that
just,
was yeah.
and Maeve is just sitting there like in disbelief.
Mm.
But she also realized with the stuff that he was saying, like they're not gonna kill her. But she's probably thinking, why haven't they like Starlight any of them tried to come save me? Like I've been chilling in here for a while. But in this episode, we are introduced to some new friends. Y'all know who they are. Well, I don't know their names, but Noir knows who they are. We are introduced to his animated buddies that
Hmm.
he sees when he is in a dark room eating a bowl full of canned beans. What were y'all first thought when y'all saw this? I was just like, oh, Noir is insane. Like, this motherfucker must love Space Jam.
I thought it was a good way of showing a bit of Noir's characterization because he doesn't speak. So using the cartoon to sort of speak for him and show his inner thoughts and pretty much how he feels. And then we see what the cartoon characters are doing. They're playing out different memories that he has from
Right.
Soldier Boy and why he feels the way he feels about Soldier Boy. Like we saw him leave Homelander and leave the vault facility once Homelander mentioned Soldier Boy and he took off the tracker thing. We see now he's pretty much saying, "Yo, I'm out. I don't want no pieces of Soldier Boy." And they're pretty much saying, we know you're scared and everything, and that's his comfort at that point because he doesn't interact with anyone. Like he doesn't speak. He seems to keep to himself. I mean, Homelander takes a liking to him, but I don't really think he's sort of indifferent to everyone else. He just shows up and does his job. So that was a cool, really unique way of showing, him. And like Jason mentioned earlier, with the creative, how they branched out with their creativeness this season, I think that was another part, what they did that as well, along with the singing and dancing scene of Kimiko and Frenchie. This was another good example of that.
That's a good point. Did
Mm-hmm.
you find anything weird that one of his Toon friends had a mean stutter? Like that shit was beating his ass every time
I,
he
I mean,
talked.
I mean, it
Like,
was. It was a Looney Tune type
Yeah.
thing. So that's Porky Pig right there, just a different version.
whew.
Uh,
I'm like, slow down, go slow with it. But Chris, I agree. I thought that was real creative, and then with the memories, and then it also reminded me of Diabolical, which is the animated connection series
Yes, that's a good
with the
point.
boys. So I thought that was pretty cool. Jason, you got anything for this scene when we find out Black Noir loves cartoons?
no, not with nothing within here. Like I said, it was this episode. It kind of dives more into a lot of the people, like their I guess their psyches and why they are the way they are. Um, Within this one because you got the Black Noir scene here, and we finally figure out why Butcher is the way Butcher is as well within
Yeah,
this episode.
I was that was where I was going next, but you go ahead and take it. It seemed like you ready to get to that part. You take that one.
Got the notes
um,
ready.
Right.
um, so they're on they're looking for Mindstorm. Prior to this, they are in the Legends house, which is played by Stranger Things actor Paul Reiser. We go into Soldier Boy's room. Well, before we get to Soldier Boy room, we find out Soldier Boy was full of shit. Like he didn't do anything that everything we found out from Countess and her little beautiful telling story, it was a lie. He just pulls up after the situation was over with, and we go into his room, and he's sitting there, um, masturbating over these, well, waiting for these two old women, sitting there. He was like, "Did y'all bring some more lube? These women are like fine wine. You know, they're sweet. They're sweet, aged, but they dry as shit." And he
You would have that in your notes. If anybody, I was just like, I'm not writing that down. I'm like, Jason gonna end up having that. Like, why would I was like, I'm not breaking this shit up.
You do a word for word too. Yeah, no,
He
that's
has
I'm
it
not
written
a
down.
I'm not a wine drinker, but that was I was gonna ask you, Jazz. Is that how aged wine tastes?
You think I let wine chill in my house long enough for it to age? Do you know who you talking to? I be drinking wine every pod episode. What? But that's what
so
they say.
so we go into this piece, and this, Huey, is starting to have his little deformities or his side effects of the V, that he's been having. Um, so they try to figure out where his Mindstorm? Yeah, Mindstorm.
Mhm.
They're trying to figure out where Mindstorm is, and they can't. They're asking Soldier Boy. He's no help. He's high. Then Huey is finally helpful outside of using his actual powers, and they say it's, more than likely he's close to a store where they actually make a medicine because he has bipolar disorder. So they go out to his actual home, and they be coming to why Butcher has been giving Soldier Boy so much weed, which he's figured out that he has PTSD, but he hasn't told anybody, which kind of goes into what Chris said. Butcher is he's didn't say it here, but we were talking. He was just saying Butcher is an asshole. He keeps everything, to himself. So it's
Right.
like we have a person who has PTSD, who's radioactive, and who can be triggered, by any different thing. So they're walking through the forest, and Soldier was like, "What you say?" Like,
Yeah.
but he every time he's like, I'm like, bro, this nigga's tripping out. And then he trips a bomb, blows up, and then, Mindstorm puts, um, Butcher into a coma. You want to go into that scene, Chris?
Yeah, that was pretty much a backstory, like you said, to the psyche of the characters. So we see some abuse going on by Butcher's father, and there was a scene where he's pretty much trying to save his little brother
Mm-hmm.
from being abused as well. So it goes into his mindset and I guess his reasoning for why he is the way he is, which I thought was a dope way to do it. That was a very creative way to have a character who
Yeah.
can, the whole mind thing. I think that was dope as well. And then we saw once Butcher was in this, well, Soldier Boy called it like a continuous nightmare state until he dies of dehydration. Soldier Boy's just like, I don't care if he dies. I'm here to the deal is a deal. Whatever I got to do, he'll be fine. He would want us to keep going anyway. So I thought that was really, it showed Soldier Boy like who he is. We've sort of seen that. Like I said before, we didn't really know much about him when he came
Right.
out, but then we're saying like this dude's a jerk, and we see exactly how. And then it just goes expands on that, and then it also goes to show Butcher's motives and why he is the way he is when you see dealing with the abuse that he had to deal with growing up. And we talked about mental health in a lot of these TV shows and movies that we've reviewed, and this goes to show that as well. So I thought that was a really dope scene that really gave us more insight on Butcher and who he is.
I I got a question for y'all. So wait, before have you, Chris? I know that you've seen it, but Jason, have you seen Black Mirror on
Yeah,
Netflix?
I've seen quite a few of them. Not all of them, but I've
Okay.
seen quite a few.
So this situation that Butcher was in, it reminded me of the Black Mirror episode White Christmas, to where you
Oh
had one
yeah,
of the
Basic
characters
one.
that was like trapped in a small memory. It
yeah,
wasn't anything that they would repeat or anything, but they would be able to live it out. Or it's kind of complicated to go through. But if you've seen the episode, y'all know what I'm
I know
trying to say.
exactly. Yeah,
So, but that
It was
this
like three. When it like three, like it wasn't like three episodes inside of one, but it tied into just the one guy who was doing a whole bunch of stuff he wasn't supposed to be.
it was, yeah. Because then you see how he got into the position he got into and his connection with other people. Like, I can't wait till Black Mirror comes back. But this power and where Butcher was at in that loop, it reminded me of White Christmas from Black Mirror. So
yeah.
I was curious if y'all got a sense of that when y'all were watching this or not.
No,
Yeah,
I
that was a
didn't. But
dope.
now that you
I,
say it, yeah, that's a dope. Yeah.
yeah, that was a dope call. That was a dope call out. Now I didn't care. I didn't. I wasn't thinking about that at all.
Well, Jazz mind stay moving. You welcome.
Yeah.
But
So they. Yeah. So they. As they begin to push through the forest, they run across a preacher and a nun. Soldier Boy, he pulls out his gun and he shoots the preacher in the head, and telling Huey like, "You got PTSD, you gotta relax. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?" The nun's kind of like praying, and then she jumps on Huey and started biting him. And Huey's like, "Man, what the fuck? Get this bitch off of me!"
Soldier Boy told him, he was like, it's, their mind gets corrupt and it's like they're gonna try to attack us, and Huey's like, nah, she just seems wholesome.
You said
I
what?
immediately
You said what, Jazz?
The nun seemed wholesome.
They said Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy told Huey like the mind
Soldier Boy always tells him. Get it?
Oh no. That is, that may be one of the worst jokes. Hold on. The fact that he paused and made me go back to get that,
You.
Jason, for the listeners, I don't know. Jason's a dad. That is
Hold on.
he is definitely like terrible dad jokes. That was cool, Jason.
I got a crump behind that one too, buddy.
That
was good to me.
That is. I'm so sorry for all the listeners. Please don't unsubscribe. Please stay with us. I promise we get better. Please don't.
wow.
God.
I know Jason had that in his notes with a star, an underline, hell, probably italics.
I did, but I was hoping I was hoping he came through, baby.
Jason was watching the episode, and when that part came, DiCaprio, he was like, "I got you." He was waiting for that. But, oh, Jason.
Oh,
Wow.
my stomach hurt.
Good job, Jason. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
A good job. That was a horrible joke. That was terrible.
But wait, but Chris, you can't say that it wasn't funny.
It was funny because of Jason's reaction. The joke was horrible, man. I'm not giving it away.
I got a cramp.
Okay.
Now he hurt. Now he's
I
hurt.
do. I got a cramp. Hold on.
All right. So I believe after this scene, we go to the Deep and his wife and his squid that he got and that he met from Herogasm. So she comes in, she's got paperwork, and he's like, "Babe, let's try to spicing up our sex life. I want you to meet somebody." Chris.
Right.
Chris, what was your thoughts when you saw this entire scene unfold?
When he said spice up our sex life, I knew where it was going because we saw we saw what happened with Herogasm, and I thought his wife was about to just leave out, just straight up like right away. Or part of me when I rewatched it, no, I'm sorry. When I watched it the first time, I was like, she may just kill this dude. Then on the rewatch, I'm just like, she's in too deep because she doesn't want to be with Deep. It's just like a whole, their whole, I guess, putting up a front. It doesn't seem like she was very genuine from the start. So just saying that, she was just like, nah, this is too much for me. I gotta go. And Deep this is why we don't like the Deep. He's just too crazy.
Hey, Chris, you think? I mean, with her being genuine, you think she was gonna fuck the mollusk?
Oh, it wasn't Mullock. So no, I don't think she's going that far.
I think she. I honestly think she was genuine. I think she was actually. I mean, like, he was like a puppet, but the Deep is an idiot.
That's
so
that's where I was going with it. Yeah, nah, that's too much. I was just like, nah, she ain't going for that. But it is the boys, so she might
have. I know that room was stinking. I know that room was sinking. And like she just sitting there, the Deep going in, and he's just like, I don't know if it was a male or female. Was it a female mollusk?
It was a female. Yeah, her name is Ambrosius.
Yo,
Jason got all this in his notes.
Yo, Jason's notes is crazy. Jason's notes is crazy.
Well, Ambrosia was trying to taste Deep's wife. Soon as that damn tentacle touched her leg, she said, "Oh, fuck no, fuck no, fuck no." She's like, I can't. Like, and they split up. Well, they have a fight, and so the Deep is just like, oh no, she's just upset right now. And it's just so weird to me how none of this is even making sense. Like, it makes sense to him, and I'm just like, I want them to kill him off, but I know that they won't because he is such a remedial soup, and he's good for laughs. But I just, and y'all know I don't like the Deep anyway.
Yeah,
But
Kevin is a weird one, for sure. And they kind of go into you to the other dickhead, A Train. A Train didn't die. I definitely thought he was out of here. That would have been a nice death if they was gonna give it to
it
him.
would
That would
have,
have been a
yeah.
nice.
Wow.
But we find out he's not dead. He's been given Blue Hawk's heart. With that, I mean, would y'all would be cool with that? Like getting your enemy's heart.
Um, was my old one a piece of shit?
Honestly, at that point, like he's dead, I'm alive. So hey, it is what it is.
How you look saying no? I don't want that healthy heart. Let me continue to have my damaged heart. No, what kind of
Yeah.
question is that, Jason? What would you have done?
I mean, it's in me now. I'm just wondering because people say my morals are off, so I'm just trying to make sure we on the same page here. So, and then Ashley kind of say some wild stuff to him. Said we gonna make a gritty movie, a gritty biopic about you in South Side of Chicago, and Tom Hanks is gonna be your trainer to help you realize there's more to the street to the world than just the streets.
Yeah, tone deaf. Uh,
She will
I,
spin something though. Like she will spin a story just to market off of it. It's capitalism at its finest.
yeah,
yeah,
this is true.
that's how the episode actually opened. Since you were actually talking about it, she's on BNN, Vault News Network, talking about Starlight and her story
Right.
that she said in the previous episode, and saying how she um, is she's working with Kimiko, and they're doing backward stuff, which goes into with Kimiko is in the house now with Starlight. She's still unable to heal. She's still very hurting for the situation, and she kind of tries to get Starlight to give her some more, not the permanent V, not the temp V, but the actual permanent V, to get her back to herself. Because she thought she didn't want it because she thought the V was making her who she was, but she realized that's just who she was, and the V just amplifies it within that in that situation when she kind of just reveals she wants to be able to protect her bae, as she was doing in the beginning.
So she said, "I need that V so I can protect my bay."
Yeah.
And she was never a toxic, violent woman. It just the V amplified her toxicity. I felt that.
That was a master class of spinning that. Like that. Goodness.
Hey.
It's jazz.
Yeah, that was almost
I mean,
scarily
she
impressive, right?
Jazz Ashley, same people.
What? No.
Ooh.
I was wow.
I
I'm
had a
talking
joke there,
about
but
Kamiko, but here go Jason. See, you ain't shit.
yeah. But no, this was interesting. And if you guys were done there, we go back to Soldier Boy in the woods. Well, I'm sorry, we go to Butcher, who's been awakened because Huey, convinces his name escapes me, the mind guy. I'll call him that.
Jason
Uh,
knows it.
yeah,
Mindstorm.
Mindstorm. There, thank you, Jason. He convinces him to wake him up, and he does so. And then we get the scene where Soldier Boy comes up and he takes out Mindstorm. That he was on the list. He just a gruesome. It wasn't even the death that was gruesome first because he like threw a knife right in his eye and knocked him out. And then they're just like, what is happening right now? And then he puts a bag over his head and he's interrogating him a little bit. And we don't hear the dialogue of what he's saying, but after he tells Soldier Boy whatever he told him, Soldier Boy's just like, no, that's impossible. That's not possible. That's not true. And he just bashes his head in. And we mentioned earlier about how heavy the shield is and how strong Soldier Boy is. So just seeing that happen, it was just like really crazy. It's like if the scene from Falcon and Winter Soldier was like
Where
super
we could
R
see it.
rated. Yeah, we could see it super R rated, not Disney down. And
See, see, that's what it initially brought me to, but it actually brought me to was it Candy Jazz with Jessica Biel, where she was she chopped her
Yo,
mate's wife. That's what it made me think of.
Mm.
yeah, I just got triggered. That entire series triggered me. But nah, yeah, no, Jason, I know what you're talking about, where she kills the innocent woman who husband she was sleeping with for years on years. But yes, but actually, that's actually a good callback from both of y'all because I didn't even think about the series Candy or Falcon and them. So that's a really good callback. Look at y'all. That's what's up.
um, and then
But
I was saying also in this episode, you know, who is it? Homelander is at a rally. Homelander is at a rally. Um, sees it on his actual phone. He sees where his daughter is with her stepfather out there. But before that, Homelander is he just pretty much just ranting about what Starlight is, what she's doing, and he's not
mhm.
bigging up the presidential run candidate that's about to run. He goes into the barn. He gets that milk. He got to go get that milk, and Victoria pulls up, and she propositions him before he said, "You can try to pop my head if you would like to. There's no blood this time. He didn't bleed." Uh, and we don't know what the actual proposition is that she wants.
Mhm.
But whatever that is, he does. He he's shocked by the news that she gives to us, so we know it's gonna be something big within that situation. But he pulls up on Todd with his actual daughter, and he's kind of addressing it. And I felt it like if I'm telling y'all what's going on and what's happening out here. Like, you believe in all this other stuff, but I'm actually inside the fight, bro. Listen to me, and this is my
Mhm.
child. And he kind of, at least somebody has to be a father for it. I would have shot the nigga in his head. It wouldn't have been another. That wouldn't have been another situation of any of that. I would have just blew his head off his shoulders right there on that lot. But that would have
Yes.
been me. So.
Yeah, I he was out of line that entire
Mhm.
thing, and that exchange that and I mean we see that every day in society how you have somebody believing information that is not true, that's not backed by facts, and they're screaming it out loud like, "Oh no, this is facts," and it's just like, what information do you have to back that up? Well,
Exactly.
this person said that, and it's just like, but did you do your own research, or you just believe in somebody who you don't really know, but just because they have a certain amount of followers, you think what they're saying is true? So I appreciate how this show kind of puts a mirror to society as we're watching it for entertainment, but it's just like if we were to look at the messages and things that they're discussing, it's just like, damn, like we're seeing this every day in our real lives.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's just like, does the light bulb not come on for anybody? But nah, wasn't wrong at all. It's just his daughter was there. But then I was just thinking, I was just like, sis, are you really that upset that your dad punched your stepdad? Because you're supposed to be on your dad's side anyway. So maybe she's just not a loyal daughter.
Oh my God.
look at Jazz spinning it. It's just
I'm
Yes.
seeing
just saying.
it's just seeing your parent wig out, and they don't do that. Like, they
Right.
don't. That's not who they are. Like, as far as when it comes to it.
Y'all ain't think y'all parents was fighting folks when y'all was kids. Cause y'all think y'all parents was just like, oh, maybe.
My situation
I'm
completely
sick.
different.
Look,
So no,
if I
I
saw my mama smack my teacher and I'm just like, well, my teacher did call me an ain't shit ass kid and my mama smacked her, oh, I'm rooting for my mama. Like, oh, hell yeah. And tell that bitch not to give me no more homework.
I've
I'm not going to
I've,
be sad.
I've picked my mom up from a fight. So no, it wasn't. I wasn't. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Chris, Chris is sitting
Yeah,
there like, oh my God, no.
my poor ears. No, I can't really. No, I can't say that's ever happened to me. Um, but yeah, pretty much that. And then the uh the episode ends with a big revelation where
Chris,
what's up?
wait, before you get to that. So, actually, I should have asked you where you were going first, just in case if my note was yours. Was yours going to be Black Noir?
No,
Okay, so mine is going to be Black Noir, but does yours end the episode?
it does.
Okay, so can we talk about Black Noir and how we find out what actually happened to him? while they were over in war, the war that they were fighting for Franklin and them.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Frank.
you know, look,
The
Call
and
Contra.
back.
so oh, exactly, so that war. So and it was a good callback because now we see the Noir's animated friends
Hmm.
reliving that memory. And so you think about how Grace's story of that entire situation panned out because we thought maybe Noir got shot, which is what actually fucked him up, but we come to find out Soldier Boy put those wounds on him. Soldier Boy is the reason why his face and everything was fucked up. And you see the visuals, even though it was animated, of how really fucked up Noir got and how Noir was working with Stan Edgar. Edgar was just like, look, I don't care how you do it, but just make sure you do it. So you could be the face of the seven, and we have a substitute. We just got to get Soldier Boy out of here.
Hmm.
So I thought that was really cool just to see that story be told
Yeah,
from Noir's point of view, who was there,
yeah.
because Grace got knocked out, so
Hmm.
she doesn't know anything that happened until she woke up. But Noir, then again, shit, he was kind of knocked out too because his brain
Yeah,
fell
Soldier
out
Boy.
of his head.
Yeah,
So I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. That was a really interesting way. We saw the Grace flashback earlier in the season, and then
Right.
showing this as a flashback. I thought that was a really unique way for them to show us from Black Noir's perspective, and then the creative aspect of having the bootleg Looney Tunes. So that was pretty dope too. Um, but yeah, Jazz mentioned Black Noir, and then of course the big revelation at the end of the episode, Homelander gets a phone call, and she's like, "Is someone claiming to be Soldier Boy?" You'll put him through, and Soldier Boy, pretty much the revelation that he's Homelander's dad, which throws a whole wrench into the whole operation because at this point there's emotions involved, and you're like, okay, is Soldier Boy going to continue with the mission to get Homelander out of here, or is he going to let that being a father or wanting that love and connection that we talked about earlier, Countess get in the way of that. So I thought that was a really dope way, not only the revelation of what happened, but in order to end the episode. And then, me and Jason talked about this earlier with the mind guy, his name for whatever reason I cannot remember, but we realized that's what he was telling Soldier Boy when he couldn't believe it and he got his head bashed in. So that was a really really nice way to close out this episode.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was. So basically, Soldier Boy was the pappy. I'm the pappy.
It's so funny because when I saw that, I thought of life. And I was trying to. That's exactly what I thought of. So that's dope. Jason, you okay?
Chris want to be like me. Uh,
I'm just listening.
I mean, you got like a whole list of notes and stuff we need to hit. So
Nah, Jason, it's growth. Jason chilling this week. He let you
Boo!
lead. You can't
okay,
win. Don't worry about it, Jason.
but Jason doesn't deserve to win.
Oh,
All
that's cool.
right, so episode 8. Jason, what's the name of this episode?
The instant hot win. The season finale. The season finale.
When shit gets real. I'm gonna be honest. The first 25 minutes of this episode was boring as fuck.
You thought so? I
Really?
enjoy,
Yes.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because I mean a lot of stuff begins to, a lot of stuff begins to play out within this episode because it kind of opens up with Soldier Boy visiting Grace, which we now know what it was. Victoria gave him. She gave him the address
Right.
to where Ryan was, and we go back to kind of what we said with Ryan. His entire thing was, I think you mentioned it, Jazz. You was like, do you think he think about what he did to his poor old mom? As you said, I don't think my voice was as good as yours, but
Nah.
let me say, poor old mom. No,
Nah.
Let me see if I can try it.
you got
That his poor mom.
So yeah,
Jazz country, but you a little too country to get it. So she got that
Whoa! I am not country.
so we see that, and then, like I said, Ryan has just been looking, for. He's been trying to forgive himself, but he's a kid because, like I said, he killed his mom. He wasn't trying to, and Butcher put that on him. Like he made him carry that. But Homelander was like, "Nah, we good. We fuck up. I'm that guy, but I fuck up all the time. It's okay." And Ryan opens up to him, and he, we see how that situation plays out, and at the Vault Tower, within the last one, we see the aftermath of Starlight going inside the building, stealing the V
Mhm.
for Kimiko. And she had her cell phone out recording Homelander as he was saying all his threats and things that he was going to do if she didn't be honest. So you got the Homelander stands versus the Starlight fans in the front. And they're basically trying to get them to free Maeve, which in it kind of what this episode goes into, them trying to them freeing Maeve, allowing Maeve to get out the actual home because they have a search warrant to be able to get her to search the actual building finally, to get her, and she ends up in the boys' home with her feet kicked up, and I got looking fucking disgusted.
He
And her
said,
feet was like dirt all over them shits. Like it was nasty. And I'm like, could y'all please stop showing us people's feet when they dirty or damn near froze?
"Oh,
Like just
I
put
didn't even
socks on them
notice that."
shits. Just you gotta attention to detail is important.
That's why
uh,
I was kept on posting that picture of in his face like that little
Yeah.
disgusted face.
Chris
That's why he's looking like that.
That's
Chris had
hilarious.
no idea.
I honestly
He's been
didn't.
he's been lost for how many weeks?
Okay. First of all, I've been on point this episode, so give me my props. Nah, but yeah, she's free. And then we go into did we touch on Homelander and Black Noir scene?
Not yet.
That hasn't come up yet, but you
Okay.
can if you want to take it, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, so at this point, we see Homelander adjusting to the news that he has, his father, who he really is, and he's not taking it very well. He's sort of we've seen, Homelander when he's get hit with certain news or certain things that said to him, that that look of everything that's going on in his head, he's really not, processing that well. And Black Noir pretty much is like, yo, we still got to kill him. Like he's just like die, he has to die, and he's writing these notes and Homeland is not, standing for that. And you can see the conflict there because out of like all of the soups from the beginning, Black Noir has been the one that Homelander feels like is, his friend or that he can, sort of rely on. So to see him sort of go against him and what he should do, that's hurting Homelander at this point. And he decides to take care of that situation by killing Black Noir, which I didn't see that coming. And it really sucked because Black Noir is, especially the last couple of episodes with the, the cartoon characters and everything, he's been given some characterization and we get, a little bit of, who he is and like, his fears and, different things like that. So to see him just get struck down and killed like that was kind of,
You
that
think
sucked.
you think he gone?
No, he's coming back.
Yes.
He's coming back.
He's out of here.
He'll be
A
back.
black superhero? Oh, they was like, let's go ahead and get him out of here.
All he wanted to do was be in Beverly Hills Cop and beat out Eddie Murphy. That's all he wanted.
Nah, keep Eddie in that role. We like Eddie.
It was crazy because after the scene, you see Noir dead on the ground, guts and shit all on the floor. And then we see his little cartoon buddies.
Yeah, that was
You
sad.
know what? Those are terrible friends. Why are they terrible friends? Because they amped him up to even go back in that situation that got him killed. And now they're just like, now you get to go to Jesus Christ. And I'm just sitting here like, he literally could have gotten away, lived on some type of farm with y'all little animated asses talking to him, and could have been straight. Like they were just like, oh, it's so sad, but how did they not? I was just like, okay, don't have cartoon imaginary friends because they ain't shit. Especially great value Looney Tunes.
Wise words from Jazz.
I'm just
um,
saying.
yeah, but that was a sad scene. But no, I don't think Black Noir is dead. We've seen him, come back from really bad injuries and situations. So I think
He
this will be a
has
setup.
like the
Yeah,
first season. I think he had a super bad one when like he beat Kamiko ass, but Kamiko got some real shit
So
up
yeah.
on him.
y'all didn't think with Homelander taking his mask and having that y'all don't think they had any kind of symbolism like that Nar wouldn't come back?
No, I think it was sore more so. I Okay, it's two things for me when I saw that. So for Homelander, it's a power move. because he's just like, yo, I just killed Black Noir, and he went to Ashley the Deep and A Train.
Atron.
Right. So he's pretty much there, like, this is what happens when you pretty much cross me, putting more fear into them. And then it was also for me like a sort of a reminder, because he really liked Black Noir. And I guess it's like sort of remembering him in a way. So I could see it going both ways. But I think Black Noir will be back for sure. I think he will play an important role moving forward. I don't know if Homelander is going to die or how they're going to do that, but I do think he plays an important role moving forward.
Psychos normally take something of the person that they killed as a souvenir.
That makes
That's
sense.
that's what Nara's mask was.
Yeah.
Nara's not coming back, but we'll see season 4 whenever that drops. But
Dang, I wish this was coming out sooner. I would make a bet with Jazz.
Yeah, remember last time I made a bet when I said, well, it was in Snowfall. I was like, Scully not dead. Even though he fell out, he's gonna
Yeah.
come back. So I don't. I mean, I don't know. It's up. When you don't see the body, it kind of leaves it up in the air. Anytime they get killed, the
we
body is.
saw the body.
But his
It was
And,
powers was my thing,
and,
not
and,
so much
and
the
we
body.
see him trying to put that his body back together, but he passed out as
Yes.
well.
Somebody will find him in there.
the maid who's gonna have to clean that shit up.
I really wish the next season was coming out real soon. I would make a bet with Jazz.
Why not just make it now? It's on the pod.
What's the wager?
You the one that wants to make the
I
bet.
want money. So,
This motherfucker.
We bet movies, nigga.
movies.
Why he
All right.
acting like you don't know what's
Shazam.
up? Oh God, no, I'm not taking that bet.
Jazz act like Shazam. You watched Morbius, but Shazam is where you draw the line.
Well, it's for the simple fact that we've had more discussion over Shazam than Morbius.
I see. So pride.
So,
Pride won't let us show it.
Yeah.
call it what you want. Call it what you want.
But
But
And then we go to Huey. Huey's at the gas station with Butcher. Butcher knows that the Temp B that he's been taking after in between 3 to 5 doses is lethal at that point. And since his, as Chris said, existential crisis, after remembering his brother, and his brother reminds him of Huey, he doesn't want him to take any more, and he knocks him out. And leaves him, which is his way of saving him versus just being able to communicate with him. He got to go to the extreme in that situation. And Starlight comes and picks him up, and she has her jazz moment once she picks him up. It's just like she just gotta. Yeah, I told you I'm right. I'm effing right. I got
but
to.
hold on, she didn't say that. Huey said, "I
Go
know
ahead
you
and say
want to
it.
say it, so just go ahead and say it." Starlight wasn't going to say it,
She
and
was.
Starlight's a good one. I wouldn't even answer his call. I wouldn't have picked up the phone. I damn sure wouldn't have came and scooped you up. After that whole situation that happened before that, yeah,
Jazz.
I'm just saying.
We gotta deep dive into why you like this. I don't. Why are you doing people like this? Like
this
Jesus, there's no redemption for
this
you out
this
here.
this episode is not about me. It's about the boys. So yes, Starlight scooped up Huey, and they talk it out. I'm sitting here like, but he did tell her a story, which about him and his dad when he was growing up and when his mother left. So then Starlight was like, "Okay, I'll forgive you." Wouldn't have been me. I'd have been like, "Nah, I'm gonna be mad at him for another 24 hours, like, so he feel it." But
Yes, man. Uh, so the boys they try to cut off because they know what the plan is. They want to stop Soldier Boy before he makes it to the actual tower because he, is explosive at this point. So they catch Soldier Boy and Butcher in their little whatever office they've been working out of. They catch him inside of there, and at this point, Maeve she turns on the actual crew, and they have to lock up everybody inside the vault as they head over to Vault Tower to take out Soldier Boy and company. Not Soldier Boy.
no,
Soldier Boy take out
Homelander.
Homelander. Homelander and company. And I'm assuming Starlight powers are pretty strong. She was able to fight out, to push out the.
Is this another scene where she let her eyes glow up? It is. It
Yeah, and
damn sure
then
is. They glow up
this,
again, and I'm just
yeah,
like, bitch, you're not gonna do nothing.
this soldier boy walked in. He was like, "Shut that down."
And Chris, what did she do?
I
Shut
mean,
that
yeah,
shit down. She
yeah,
ain't do shit.
it's leading up to it. Yeah, we'll get
Yeah,
But
there.
she has a yeah she has her moment.
no, she don't.
With no, you don't think so?
Sam and Starlight is Jazz's arch enemies.
She's not. But I'm just like, if you just follow through with your plan and stop these fake threats, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
What they do, they make it so they make it into the they make it into the tower. Butcher and Soldier will have their standoff with Homelander, and Homelander is talking to him, and he asks him where Black Noir is, and he pretty much said, "I killed him," and then he was like, "Why would you do that?" And then they talking, and he's pretty much Soldier. Within this, we kind of we already knew Homelander has been looking for a father figure. All these people have super deep daddy issues. Homelander,
yes,
Soldier Boy has a daddy issue because he was talking about his father told him he was a disappointment. Um, and
Butcher.
he took the easy way out. You got
Mm-hmm.
Butcher. He was getting
Huey.
abused by his daddy. Huey don't have a.
Well, he thought his dad was weak growing up.
He did. You're right.
And
You're
it
right.
took
He
him
he thought.
recently for him
Yeah.
to realize that his dad was not weak. So
Fun fact: Huey's dad, which is Simon Pegg from what's the zombie
Shaun of
movie?
the Dead,
The
that was
character
also mentioned in Scream 4.
uh the
It's
sca-
okay.
the
It was.
character Huey is actually mimicked based on him. Um,
Interesting.
Hmm.
the
Okay.
character Huey is actually based around Simon, but because Simon was too old for the character, they got Huey, which is um,
Jack Wade.
Jack Quaid,
Hmm.
to play, and they just made him the dad instead. So that was
Oh,
a
interesting.
fun. So that was just a
Nice
fun
little
fact.
fun fact.
He didn't get
To
that
throw.
role, but he said, "But you got to call me daddy."
That's a jazz line if I ever heard
That's
one.
day 331. Like I
Oh
like she
man.
she be.
Like, well, go ahead, Jason.
All right, so they have their standoff, and Homelander has it one last trick up his sleeve. He has his son. He has Ryan. That's Jazz. That's Jazz Bay in
No,
the
it's not.
room. He
It's
has
not.
Ryan in the room, and he introduces him to his grandfather. And then not Homelander, but Soldier Boy kind of tells him the same thing his father told him. I wish I could have been there to raise you different, raise you better, to be stronger, but you weak and you a disappointment to me. And he swings at him and he knocks Ryan across the room. And then at this point, everybody, this is when the brawl begins to happen, and where Butcher, I guess he finally comes to realization that it's too much within this situation, because he tries to do what he can to protect Ryan, so him and Soldier Boy fight as opposed to him fighting Homelander.
I hated this.
I did too. This scene was terrible.
I hated this.
It felt like, honestly, it felt like a cop out reason for them to have a season four, and they didn't really know how they were going to write themselves out of it. And it was just like, hey, let's have Butcher change his mind last minute. I'm just like, I hated that scene.
Like, this is what you've wanted for 3 seasons. You were right
Literally.
here, and then you see, oh, Ryan get tossed around. He's a suit. The little bastard's gonna heal in 5 minutes. He'll be okay. I'm just sitting here like, look, let Soldier Boy kill Homelander. One less thing you have to worry about. But
Exactly.
no, here he go, and I'm just like,
I mean, so y'all would have been okay with this being the final season?
No,
if
not to
home,
say that it could have been the final season. I
Do
just
you
think
do
in
you
the
think there's
context of what,
you think there's another season beyond Homelander being killed?
nah, Homelander's the end game. But I think that this, the way this played out, I didn't like it. I just thought it was just, it didn't, no, I didn't think it was a good way to play it
I
out.
yeah, I thought the quick switch after everything that you went through
Yeah.
was a cop out. I was just like, this is bullshit. Like, I understand him not wanting Huey to continue being involved because of his brother. Like, I get that. But when Huey was trying to cape for Butcher to everybody else, was like, he's really fucked up deep down inside, but he doesn't really want, he's not invested in this entire mission.
Hmm.
And me as a viewer, I'm sitting here like, it seemed like Butcher is trying to follow through with everything. And then you see that snap with Ryan, who's a little,
It
that
was
whole
just
situation. I was just like, so you mean to tell me you gave up everything that you worked for just for this little motherfucker who you don't really rock with like that? It wouldn't have been me. I'd have been like, nah, nah.
I mean, but in that scenario, like I said, I called it out last episode. But do y'all think the V was making him act that way though? Like, because I mean, he ultimately he did what he was supposed to do. He
mhm,
promised Becca that he was going to take care of Ryan, but now he went off in a moment of anger based on a situation that happened to Becca. So it
mhm.
was like, I mean, it was a fucked up situation because it was a kid, but he's still in the process of learning how to use his actual powers. It wasn't like he went through there and just fucking killed
Yeah,
his
it went
mom
crazy.
because he wanted to.
Nah, I ain't buying that. And then even Soldier Boy made a comment, about Ryan, and he was like, Homelander was with your wife. It get, the kid, like he said something like that. I'm just like, it just
Yeah,
makes no sense.
he said, why you give a fuck about him?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense to me.
But
Like,
then,
I
like,
just
if y'all remember when Butcher was talking to Soldier Boy, he said, Homelander is not your kid. You didn't name him, you didn't raise him. So when you think about the comments that Butcher said, and it's just like, Butcher,
listen to you, sir.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
just like you're saying that to Soldier Boy so Soldier Boy can kill Homelander, but you're stopping Soldier Boy from also possibly killing Ryan, who was a kid that's not yours, that you didn't name, that you didn't raise, but you did make a promise. And then when you see how the damn episode ends, you just sit back like, damn, Butcher, you did all of this shit, you didn't get what you wanted, and you still lost. So you holding an L at the end of the episode. So
Man. I mean, unfortunately, those are the ramifications of his actions. He didn't go about a lot of his situations properly. So, I mean, that's unfortunately I mean, that's how that pans out. Um, in there, I want to go into the actual fight. I mean, because it wasn't. I mean, outside of Homelander and Maeve fighting, him poking her eye out,
fucked her
um,
shit up. I
and
mean,
her stabbing him in the ear. Does any of that the fight
well,
important?
I during this entire scene, you got three fights happening at one time.
Mm-hmm.
You got Maeve against Homelander, like you just mentioned, and then you have Butcher against Soldier Boy, and then
Mm-hmm.
you also have Kamiko going against the guards while Frenchie is trying to make that gas so they can knock out Soldier Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Huey in the studio because he somehow turns into a master control operator, and he's turned on all these lights because then you see Starlight coming in, turn her fucking eyes on again for the 100th time this season, but then we see that it actually does something. And the fact that they zoomed in on her shoes, and I'm just like, are those Converses? But you see that she's rising up in the air, and she's trying to go against Soldier Boy. She blasts him. It's like, okay, cool. She drops to the ground, and then they're able, like, then we see Frenchie and Kamiko get up there. So now everybody's upstairs. Butcher's knocked out. Maeve can see only one side of the room because her other eye is gone. And so
She said that like they gave us her perspective in that scene.
I'm just saying, I'm just like, I know she can't see over there to her right. Like her eye was completely fucked up. And I thought this scene was funny because you see they put the gas over Soldier Boy's mouth while Maeve is still fighting Homelander. Everybody slows down except for Maeve. And then Maeve looks at Starlight and like, okay, I'm about to be the hero. Even though earlier in this episode she told Starlight there's no such thing as heroes.
Yeah.
So Maeve risked her life.
I missed it.
She, you said you missed that? Oh yeah. So she runs because we see Soldier Boy powering up to where they're all about to just blow up. And maybe it was for the best, and then it just be like, all right, no more seasons after this. Everybody's dead, but they're not gonna end a show like that. And
Nah.
so she jumps out the window with Soldier Boy, holding him. He's about to in the process of getting knocked out, and he just explodes. So at this point, we think, damn, Maeve is dead, and Ryan's non-dependable ass. See, that's why you can't feed him.
I'm saying, bro. Whoa. Okay, I wasn't going there, but
Oh,
no, he deserves sustenance. But hey,
Jazz Ryan is well. Who is Ryan, Jazz?
little bitch ass kid.
Oh, okay, it's not a dog, not a stray dog.
Do you think? I mean, look, stray dog. If I got some snacks in the car, doo-doo, throw him a little something. Ryan, nope. I got nothing for you, kid. Nothing.
She said that's why you don't feed him. I'm like, damn, he's not a dog, Jazz. He's a whole kid.
yeah, I don't know where that came from.
Jazz don't
Um,
like kids.
Hey, but I thought it was interesting that Maeve decided to be the hero because we saw earlier when she was talking to Homelander and she was basically saying, I'm done being a suit. So this was her, her way to not only be the hero, but sort of get out of this whole lifestyle that she's into right now. And I thought that was a really dope way to close out her arc for this season. So it made sense for me for her to be the hero and then having that done.
That's true.
Yeah, that was dope.
Did y'all see anything else in this final episode?
No, they just, I mean, they pretty much they set the precedence for the next season. Um, within this, so we figure out what the trend, what the actual proposition was for Victoria.
Right.
She she had Homelander wanting him to kill the vice president candidate that was about to be announced, which the Deep drowns him in the actual pool, and she turns out that she's running, so she's getting into the White House to help push the soup agenda, and the only well we got the soup agenda. We found out because Butcher kept taking those temporary V's, he only has about a year and a half to live on there, and then it kind of ends on some more MAGA shit with Soldier, not Soldier Boy, but Homelander and
Mhm.
Ryan. He introducing the world to his son. And we at the rally, and somebody throws a drink because they're upset, and then it hits Ryan.
In the
Ryan
face.
and Ryan kind of and
Jazz
Ryan
laughed.
and Ryan looks upset, and Homelander like kills this guy in the middle of everybody, and instead of being upset, Todd bitch ass is out there. Um, just sporadically he begins cheering, and everybody just
Yeah.
started cheering. That was like some Kanye West, Donald Trump type shit. Like on some, no matter what
Ooh.
they do,
Oh yeah.
they cheering, they celebrate this moment. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
and that's how the season concluded.
Yeah.
Yeah. That from what I gathered from the end of that episode, what I said last week, don't them kids. I'm sort of leaning towards Jazz
You
now
said
with
what
all
them?
kid.
You said what them kids, Chris?
I know. I was saying leaning towards what Jazz said with in regards to how she feels about Jason's. Yeah, no, Jason. In regards to what Jazz said about the kids, um, not all the rest of the kids, but this one in particular, that just, Butcher saved the kid or he changed his whole motivation because of the kid, and then he ends up going with Homeland anyway. I just I didn't like it at all. But
Same. But
Was it so with the season? We at the conclusion. Was it good though?
yes, absolutely.
it was
Good.
very
Definitely,
good. Yeah, it was very
definitely
good on the
enjoyed it.
rewatch. My only issue I had was the ending, Butcher's decision making at the end.
His
Outside of that,
motivation at the end. I mean, he finally had a good decision. At the end. Did you guys have any legends for the episode?
My ledge, I would have linked up with Victoria if I was Starlight. When she's just like, help me push my agenda, and I will make sure that you are in lead of the seven. Knowing that I couldn't fully trust her, I would have tried to link up with her right then and there instead of trying to take the moral road or whatever the fuck
the moral
that
high
shit.
ground. Yeah,
Like, nah. So,
she's just done with Vault and everything that deals with it overall. So I can see why she didn't do that.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
y'all got any ledges?
I don't think I had. I don't think I had one.
Okay.
I don't. My only thing would be Butcher's decision at the end, but I don't think that's like a controversial thing. It was just to me, I didn't like the his reasoning for doing that. But no, no ledges.
Okay. What's y'all link of thrones? Why are you
Chris.
laughing, Chris?
Because I feel like mine is good, so I was waiting for this.
Oh,
So you
Uh,
cool.
go. Who you got, Chris?
so my Link of Thrones is gonna be I hope I say her last name right. Dominique McElligott. She plays Maeve, and she's on House of Cards. She plays Hannah Conway, who is the wife of the Republican presidential candidate in seasons. I think it's season 4. So she was on House of Cards. House of Cards is a really good show. Don't watch the last season, but the rest of the show
Are
is a
you
really
saying
good show.
that because the wife was the president and you're kind of sexist?
No, I'm saying that because Kevin Spacey is a nasty man and he ruined the whole storytelling arc of the show, and they just had to try to save it.
In
If
my
you,
story, it's because you're sexist.
oh well, narratives. There you go.
Jason, what you got?
Um, I'm gonna go with Grace, Layla Robbins. This is another Walking Dead character. Um, Her name, she was in there, Walking Dead. That's what I'm going with.
Okay. Mine is going to be Nathan Frank. He is A Train's brother. His real name is Christian Keys. He
And
is a. Why are you laughing, Chris?
I just knew that was gonna be your Link of Thrones. I
Don't
knew that
know
was gonna be
me. So he
it.
is a Tyler Perry favorite. He was in a lot of Tyler Perry's Medea's shows or plays,
Mm-hmm.
excuse me. So the movie that he was definitely in was The Preacher's Son.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I thought her Link of Thrones was a Tyler Perry play.
It would have been dope if she would have said that one because he was definitely in like the
we not
Diary of a
doing
Mad
what
Black Woman.
we not doing what we did with Chris the first couple of episodes of dissecting my Lincoln Thrones. We're not doing that. So I said The Preacher's Son.
I did.
Now
You
you
got
sounded
it.
like Laura's best friend and shit. Like,
Man, but look, man, this is the episode 9 review. Um, was it good though? Podcast review of The Boys. Again, appreciate everybody who listens weekly or watches on YouTube. Either way, please like, share, subscribe. Let us know how we doing. If you have a review that you would like for us to review, let us know. Chris, you have any closing remarks for us, sir?
No, appreciate all the listeners, all the viewers. Continue to rate, comment, everything Jason said. We appreciate the love. We had 200 followers on IG, so we want to give a special shout out to y'all. Yes, sir. There we go. We put up a post for that, a story rather. But just little appreciation. Thank you for that. Jazz, what you got? Any closing remarks?
I just want to say thank you to all those that watch and listen. And also check out our random bonus episodes. We normally drop those on Fridays of just us having random discussions, not morally on shows or movies, but stuff that's happening and like random skits that we do. Just areas where we just try to be funny. So
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely dropped the San Diego Comic Con um, video today. We have Jazz reveal of her character that she did for her Tampa Comic Con. Within there, we'll also have some great debates and arguments
just
within
you
that.
arguing. Just you arguing.
I can't argue with myself. That's not how that works. So again, we do appreciate everybody for listening. You have a nice one. Be safe.
Deuces.
See ya.